And we're up. You are live. Oh, just going to turn that down. Why isn't it going live on YouTube yet?
You are?
What's...
And you sound good.
It is. Thank you, darling. Oh, I've got to mute that one, haven't I? Otherwise, you're going to get a loop. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Grumpy Old Git in the Corner. Evening, Cars. Mikey. Jar Energy. I think that's how you produce it, isn't it? Jar.
Produce it.
Hey?
Produce it. Pronounce.
Jar.
Yes, you said I think that's how you produce it.
Oh, pronounce it, I meant to say. Well, it's not too obvious what the main topic is going to be this week. But before we get into it, don't forget this is my last one covering Sunday for Dan. So next week, you'll be glad to hear that everything will be back to normal. And Dan will be sat in front here. Good evening, Unc. We'll wait for a few more to drop in. Although we know what tonight's subject's going to be, I will ask you all, or the 10 of you that are here now, to moderate your comments a little bit. I know everybody's going to have strong opinions on what was being done and what's been said. Mainstream media, if anybody took any notice of that, well, we all know that was a load of bollocks. But yeah, if we can keep the comments respectful, literally to protect the channel. We've got to do it today, unfortunately. Well, not just today, but we've got to do it on all live streams now. That's not many people dropping in tonight. But yeah, I mean, what's been going on there yesterday and today? I understand there's been some more scuffles and a few arrests today. Now, I was watching, what did I have up on the screen? I think I had 5 streams going at one time, plus I had the laptop open as well. So I was watching from all angles and all directions. Good evening, Chris. Welcome, mate. But what I saw, yes, there was people getting aggressive. There was a lot of pushing and shoving. But again, everything I saw seemed to be provoked mainly by the police, by their actions. Yes, they did have new powers of stop and search, but I think they overused them. Yes, Chris, he got back to his mum's absolutely fine. He was in a lot of pain before he went. And he admits himself that he shouldn't have gone. And the pain got worse. So, yeah, he had to stop and he had to get a taxi back to the station, unfortunately. But he got home safe and sound. He's still in a lot of pain with his legs and that. But he's okay. I've been in touch with him. Yeah, brilliant, Mikey. Yeah, he's absolutely fine. It'll take him a few days to recover, but he should be back, hopefully, for next Sunday. So, fingers crossed. It's really strange for me sat here doing one on a Sunday rather than sitting back and enjoying Dan. Yes, he is a tough old bird, mate. He's been through a lot. So a lot of us in here have, and we face life head on, no matter what it throws at us. But yeah, what we were seeing yesterday, I mean, the stop and search was okay. Admittedly, they needed to do it for some people. I can honestly say that they had names and probably pictures of some that are already on their lists that they wanted to check out. But no way in my mind should anybody be searched just because you're walking along carrying your national flag. That to me is absolutely disgusting. I said it in the video Friday. I call it treasonous with the way they've acted, to be honest. They said it was reasonable and proportionate. Well, I did actually go and watch some of the streams that were coming from the other march, as they were calling it. Well, it wasn't. It was a fucking protest. Now, show the difference. I didn't see a lot of stop and search going on those, or any of the leads up to it. I have watched one or two since, not in their entirety, but I have looked, and I certainly don't see any. And then at the end of the day, yesterday, I think it was, the police kettled in, probably only about 30 people, but they used about 100 of the coppers to do it, and wouldn't let them leave until they'd identified, simply because they were a patriot. Evening, JD. Now, you put that against the other side, and what have the police said about that? Oh, we've got loads of suspects, but we're going to make inquiries. They didn't fucking kettle any of them in. They didn't fucking ID them on the spot, and they probably won't be able to ID half of them now. So, yeah, the policing wasn't as bad as I expected it to be, but there was battens drawn, first by the police, I might add. But everything happened yesterday was of the government's and the police's creating, as far as I'm concerned. And if anything bad came out of it, then I lay it squarely at their feet. Yes, Jay, exactly, mate. They're all big and brave when there's more of them than there is of the people they're kettling. But they won't do it to these big groups like that, especially minority groups. One, they get accused of racism, and two, they're shit scared because they know they will fucking fight back. And although I didn't agree with what happened, they can see now that certain patriots aren't going to take the shit anymore, and they will fight back. Good evening, Scar. But yeah, and the mainstream media, well, to anybody that watched even 10 minutes of the streams that were about yesterday, absolutely showed the bias in mainstream media. They tried to blame Tommy Robinson for kicking off with the police. He was nowhere near them. He was nowhere near any of the scuffles. In fact, when the biggest one broke out, I believe he was off having some lunch somewhere. Yes, Jay, absolutely. And with what Braverman said the other day along them lines, it is the first time that I've ever agreed with anybody in this government at the moment. Good evening, Mickey. Welcome, buddy. Hope you're good. But yeah, the mainstream media was just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It was way worse than I thought it was going to be. But hey, any of us now that want to fly a British flag, our national flag, whichever one you want to use. Good evening, Dave. And you've got views on what's going on at the moment. Apparently, we're far right. So those of you that were middle of the fence, you're not anymore. You're far right. Because you don't support them, you're far right. Vote with this full of that. Yes, Jay, and that is the issue. The last few haven't been elected. We didn't vote for them. They voted their own in. All the polls they're banding about at the moment. Now, you've got to remember these polls they do on feelings about them are done with their own people. They're done with the membership. They're not done with the general public. Green background with gold harp on a tricolour. Yeah. I've got a gold harp painted up on my Baran, or Bora, as people call it sometimes. Yes, Dave, and that is the problem. And I think before any next general election, we will probably have another one with the way things are going. And I think Labour will as well. They've all turned on old Stamper, as I call him. Bohran, yeah. Yes, Chris, I got one upstairs. My auntie had it made for me years ago by a very famous company in Dublin. If anybody knows the Irish instruments of it, called Malarkeys. It's a handmade one. And yes, I can play it. I haven't played it for years, but I can play it. yes, that's an old saying. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Only for a second. But no, I really think that you look back. Now, Braverman has come out with some things that she's wanted to do, and she's come up and stood in front of them and said about it. She's announced it in public. She said all the things the public want to hear. We're going to stop the boats. We're going to send people back. Over the police. Police are biased. They should have stopped the march. It's our day. Now, everything she says, good evening, Gabby, endears her to the public a little bit, because she's repeating what the public are saying and what we want to hear. But at every single stage, the government have shut her down. Now, if the public was given a vote on which of those people in that shit shower they wanted to head it, who's the only one that the public have been agreeing with at the moment, even though she's been shut down over it? Yes, exactly, Dave. They're all going to miss out their chance because she's more popular now with the public just for what she said. I don't agree with a lot that she does, and I don't agree with a lot that she says. But on that, I'm with her all the way. I was going to say I'm up her all the way then. It's a bit early for that shit, isn't it? No, I'm with her all the way on that. And it will put her in good stead with a lot of the public. Hello, why didn't I get an alert for that? Excuse me, guys. I'm just gonna. Well, I was gonna answer a message before it disappeared off my bloody screen. What's going on here? Oh, even my phone's having a fucking issue fit now. Oh, baby, I'm migrant. So, yeah, they keep saying about these migrant centres and shit like that. No. Oh, what's going on with this phone? They're putting them in these camps. There is one, I holding centre, I believe, which is supposed to be a secure one, mind, which are the ones that are due to be deported. I don't know how many are in there. Unfortunately, WhatsApp stopped. Okay, fine. Sorry, people. I just got a WhatsApp message, and I've only got WhatsApp on my phone. Now my phone's locked up. Right, I'll give that a minute and see what happens with it. Yeah, Chris. There are a lot of the countries in the EU now have seen the issues. And a lot of countries in the EU are obviously having elections or are due elections. Good evening, Stitch. Now, a lot of them have said already with the governments they've got, they're not going to take any more immigrants. A lot of them have shut their borders to them, especially those closer to the Middle East. And all the parties that are getting the support in these countries at the moment are the ones that saying they want to put a stop to it. Sweden has already done it. Germany is restricting a lot. Italy's overrun. They ain't got room for any more. It's a bit like Ireland, although they're still trying to drag a load into Ireland. If you see the state of it over there with them at the moment, it's unbelievable that they're even changing languages and signposts to accommodate them. Yes, Mickey, Italy is deporting quite a lot of them, and rightly so, that they've been so overrun with them. Good evening, Rippy. Nice to see you, buddy. All right, what's going on with this thing now? BitChute now live on your channel. I haven't gone live on any BitChute channel. What the fuck? Hang on, guys. Bear with me a minute. I haven't been... BitChute, ask for your consent to use your personal... No, fuck off. Viewed. Right. Well, I haven't posted anything on BitChute since February 2022. And it says, I just got an alert saying I'm live on BitChute.
Oh, well.
Yeah. How fucking strange. So weird.
Well, if you are going out on BitChute, it's just extra views. So make sure.
No, BitChute is full of fucking trolls. It is worse than YouTube now. Oh, look, I've got stuff coming in all over the place. What's... okay. Fine. Bothered. Don't know what that's about. Excuse me, guys. Chat amongst yourself. I've just got to answer this. Good evening, Crafts. Where are we?
Hello, Janine.
So it's obviously being connected to Dan, if people can't get hold of him because most people haven't got his personal number, and he turns the other one off at times so people can't get through it. Good evening, Sean. I've been getting lots of inquiries and messages and emails asking me how he was after yesterday. For those that weren't in here earlier, he's fine. He got home. He is in pain, but as he admits himself, he was in pain before he went out, and he did consider not going. We told him don't bother if he was in pain, but hey, you know Dan. He wanted to go and he wanted to put something out for us. So, but he's fine. He's in pain, and hopefully he will be travelling home this week and be here for next Sunday. Yeah, he is, Crafts. I mean, as you know, me, him, Holly, and one or two others, we're in touch daily. You know, we're good friends. And he always says he values our advice, but when it comes to something like that, he absolutely doesn't take it. So, yeah, he is. And I'm the same, believe it or not. When I went up to the memorial on Thursday to do my video that I always do, yeah, it's uphill all the way, probably for the best part of a mile. I knew I was going to struggle with it. Heather did say she'd drop me off, or I could have even have took the car up with me. But I said, no, I need the exercise. So I walked up. I did nearly ring her to come and pick me up when I got halfway back. But me being me, the same mentality as Dan, I pushed on, got home, and to be honest, I was still suffering yesterday and still a little bit today with my legs. Resist, good evening, mates. How are you? I've got to do the same again. Thursday, I've got the next round of treatment at the hospital. Again, the only time I get Heather to drop me off and pick me up is if it's pissing down with rain. Yeah, but that's something else he's got to carry around with him. If he got one of them Crafts, I mean, he doesn't drive. He hasn't got a car. I was a bit annoyed, and I will say it in public, with the way Welshie just dropped him, simply because of the amount of people he had watching. I personally, I would never leave a man behind if he was down, and I would have at least waited and made sure he got in a taxi to the station, rather than just, I got 3,000 watching, I got to go. Yeah, I didn't go a lot on that. Good evening, Tony. Respect you, resist, respect you. Yeah, he did, Crafts, I'm afraid. To the point where he knew he was struggling. Oh, you ain't going to believe this. Oh, it's because I got the wrong one. I mean, he forgot he'd put him there. He forgot he'd sat down and just went off doing what he was doing. If you're hearing a whining or something, Crafts, there is something wrong in the system. It's usually, you can only hear it when you've got headphones on, though. Let me move that a bit. That might be where the microphone's too close to the camera. But I've got nothing else that should interfere with anything.
We have got fireworks.
We have got fireworks going off outside, but...
Happy Diwali, anybody?
Stuart, good evening, buddy. Do you know, it's bloody strange sat here saying good evening rather than good afternoon. I will resist. He may pop in tonight in here. If he doesn't pop on the panel in a bit, he may well just pop in the chat. But at the moment, I know he's in pain and he's struggling to get comfortable and rest. So hopefully he's resting up. So I can't seem to get the stream, but got the chat. Yeah, YouTube's all over the place at the moment, Stuart. Basically because of everything that's going on this weekend. They were interfering with Simons this afternoon, the Rev. Excuse me, people. I'm not in my best. Both of us have had a little bit of the lurgy. Not that lurgy, but normal lurgy at the moment, and it's the weather and the cold. Where was I? Yeah, YouTube there. Also, again, yesterday in London, there were sporadic blocking of streams. It was fairly obvious when you'd see, because I had multiple streams going. I'd even fired up another computer so I could put extras on up to watch. Yeah, people in one area, their stream would go down, then theirs would come up, and then another area would go down. There were one or two. I won't mention any names. They're not people that we would normally watch or associate with. But their streams seemed unaffected, funny enough. Yeah, he might well have done, Sean. But at the time, I was very pissed off with it. And it's not something I would ever have done. Far from it. Yeah, like I said, I'd have at least, if I was intending to carry on, I'd have at least stood the time to stay there, made sure he got a taxi, and that he got in it okay, at the very least. You know, I mean, what was Saturday about? Fallen comrades, fallen colleagues, you know. So many of them got left behind. Some of them could never be found. So, what the hell is that? Is that still the fireworks?
Outside, yeah.
Oh, it's that Doodally, whatever
Yes,
shit it is, isn't it?
Diwali. Yes,
That's it.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy New Year, everybody. Doodally's ending, starting, or something out there, apparently.
Diwali today.
It's today, is it? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know about any of these bloody festivals.
It's this weekend, anyway.
Yeah, it's only every other fucking minority that are allowed to have them. Unless you're British, then you're fucked. You're not allowed to do nothing. And I think it's going to get to the point, and it ain't far off, where it will be against the law to be fucking English. Yeah, Stuart collected the footsie and that, I think you said. So that's where we used to go to the timeshare years ago. Hindi New Year tomorrow. Yes, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
As you can tell by the amount of fireworks going off, there are plenty of them around here. But I'll be totally honest. I've never had a problem with the ones around here. I mean, the guy and his missus that run the corner shop, they're both Muslim. Nice couple. Bend over backwards to help anybody.
Just don't ask for credit.
Yeah, just don't ask for credit. In fact, he has, on the odd occasion, when I used to go in there to buy the tobacco, if I was a couple of quid short, if I didn't have enough change in my pocket, because I never used to use a card in there, he would always say, "Oh, give it me next time."
Yes, but you never asked.
Oh, I never asked. No. I don't ask for credit anywhere.
And that's the difference.
Other than where it's due. But with my debts, I can't anyway. I wouldn't get credit anyway. Unless it was an illegal form of credit. Yeah, Gabby, but this is the issue. It would be all right for him at home, but he hasn't got the energy and the strength to collapse one, put it in the back of a taxi and stuff like that. This is the problem. I've got a little bit more energy. Mine isn't as bad as Dan's, but even I would struggle getting it in and out of the car all the time.
Yeah, you didn't miss much, Stuart.
But we are now apparently all far right, Stuart, according to the government and the mainstream. we're all right. We're terrible. We're racist. They make such a difference. Yeah, but Gabby, I mean, I can imagine me and Heather would tell you if I got my hands on a mobility scooter, the first thing it'd be happening with it, it'd be out the back there, that the electric motor would be ripped out of it, and it would be having a motorcycle engine fitted. Yeah, I announced on the video the other day, yeah, I must be far right. I've never considered myself even halfway right, only correct.
I think Dan might be considering a car once he's got the move sorted.
Yeah, he did say, didn't he?
Yeah.
Once he's moved back to Essex, then he's going to look into getting his license, taking his test, and buying a car, which will be great because it means he'll be able to get around more. Good evening, Gary.
Far more use to him than a mobility scooter.
Yeah. Well, we'd be lost without ours, wouldn't we? You know.
Yeah.
Yes, we could probably both walk to the shop, but we're never ever going to walk back with a load of shopping.
Which shop? Tesco's? Asda?
Yeah. DJ, good evening, sweetheart. How are you?
DJ Fit.
Yeah, DJ's in the house.
Hello, my darling. Good to see you.
It's not normally my spot. It's only because Dan's away. I've just been covering Sundays for the last few weeks, so people got somewhere to go. Loafer, good evening, mate. Oh, fellow far right, Loafer. Get it right, mate. Good. Glad to hear it, DJ. Glad to hear it. That was that message, actually. That's probably why God bless isn't on here at the moment. He was on his way home in a taxi and he was just inquiring about Dan. So he obviously hadn't come on. No, it's I don't know whether you watch on the Sundays now, DJ. I'm quite a big part of Dan's channel, as is Holly, one or two others. And I did always tell him, look, if he ever needs a night off, I'll quite happily put a stream up so people got somewhere to go. And that's the only reason I've done it, is for the guys that are regulars on a Sunday night. They have their chats, they've got their friends in here, and I'm just some old git started here waffling while everybody catches up with each other. Yeah, most of the time, Beardy, I have been proved wrong on the odd occasion. But it looks like Orwell was right when they've let him get so far, and now with everything else, the left are now cancelling Orwell. I mean, the last couple of days of what the police have been doing absolutely goes with the little speech he does of imagine the boot stamping down on a face. Yeah. Absolutely, Bearded. Every single one of them, mate. Every single one of them. Those that are here now and those that aren't. Absolutely. And this is what a lot of people forgot yesterday. They're too tied up in their little feuds, their little arguments, their disagreements. Now, there was no need for that yesterday. No need for it. As for them little elite twats sat up in the steps there paying their homage to them, they're just hypocrites, because everything, as I said in the video, they're thanking them for everything that they've taken away from us now. And that to me makes every single one of them a hypocrite. including proper Charlie. Any king that can stand there and go and lay a wreath after what he's let his country become, then says it all, really, doesn't it? Yes, Gary, and you know, the police said they'll protect the cenotaph, and yes, they did. Nobody else needed to do it, simply because they were keeping everybody else away from it. But as we've seen now around the rest of the country, there was some absolutely disgusting things done to some of the memorials. I haven't been up to ours today, unfortunately, to see, but around this area, we don't get a lot of shit like that, to be honest. It is quite a quiet area.
Apart from the fireworks.
Yeah, apart from the fireworks and do-dally on the odd occasion. There's another one they set them all off at as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is now.
You've said that, neither can I.
No, I don't believe he should have been king, Sharon. I think that seat should have gone to William. Absolutely. And out of all of them that are there, he is about the only one, and we have discussed this at great length here. I'm not a royalist, but think about the way the two lads went in their early lives and where they've been since. Only one of them has ever been truly groomed to be king. And it ain't the Ginger Whinger. I mean, everybody shouts, he's not my king. I'm an Englishman, so he is my king. But I've got no respect for the geezer. He is my king, but if it makes sense, he isn't my king. He's never acted like a king. But, as I say, technically, he is my king. I can't deny that. Same as that prick in power in Parliament is my Prime Minister. I don't like it. I don't want it. But technically, he is my Prime Minister, being an Englishman. Would be nicer if he was as well, but yeah, if he, this is the thing. I get slated for some of the things I say, not by any of you guys, but by the left. Not as much as some YouTubers, but I do get some comments and messages. And I just said, well, fine, that's your opinion. You know, if you're happy following them, then carry on. Don't knock me for mine. You know, I don't go on anybody else's channel slagging them off. So why they bother, I don't know. But most of the things that I say, I've looked at. If it's not a fact, I'll say it's not a fact. If it's an opinion, I'll say it's an opinion. I'm allowed to do that. Doesn't matter who takes offense to it. I have a right to my opinion. I do try and keep it clean and tidy in here. I don't try and break any of the rules simply because I like my little channel. And if it got disappeared, I wouldn't be able to talk to you guys for a start. So, you know, there are new laws and rules coming in, and unfortunately, if you want to stay on social media, we've got to abide by them as much as we can.
Look, old uncle's as bad as you. Married my queen.
Yeah, he's not as bad as me because I haven't married my queen yet.
You don't kneel either.
Hey?
Oh, yeah, you do.
I got on one knee though, didn't I? When I bloody asked you, took me another hour fucking getting up, but I got down there.
No, you were fit in those days.
Yeah, I was also drunk, if I remember. And I was coerced.
You weren't. No, you weren't. It was your mates.
Really? Oh dear. I married for a new graphics card. Well, believe
He
it or
moved
not,
in for a shed.
I moved in so I could have a shed. But she has come in handy as tech support, chef, a few other things that I won't mention.
Gave him chance to back out, Jay.
Yeah, she did. And I'm still here. Good evening, Steve. Welcome, mate. Come on, panel. No worries.
Do we get realistic train noises?
Yeah, woo woo. That's the steep hill, isn't it?
You've got an engine, you'd be on about that.
I was married before Shan.
As was I.
As was Heather. I was asked why I ended up getting divorced. I said, well, I was pissed when I met her. I was pissed when I married her, and I sobered up, saw what I married and divorced her. But that would be very unkind. I'd lost trust in her, so I left and we got divorced. I'll say no more on that. But we were looking at getting married here, me and Heather, on the run up to lockdown, because nobody foresee that coming. So we kind of put it on the back boiler for a while. And then in the meantime, the daughter pops up and says, I'm getting married. So obviously all the attention is on the daughter. Fair enough, me and Heather have both been there before.
Bearded says you pinned the link to the Revs Live.
Did I? It can't be. That's... Oh. What the fuck? Right. Well, I copied this up here and pasted it. What the...
You've copied the wrong page, darling. Don't worry.
Oh. Right, let's have a look at that. Let's... oh, pardon me. Cheers, Mikey. How did that happen? Oh, I don't know.
That's at least a StreamYard link.
But Rev was having hassle on his stream this morning as well. Well, this afternoon. YouTube were deleting comments in there. Hiding thing. No, honestly, DJ, since I've had the strokes, my mind... we sat here one night and Holly messaged me about an hour after I'd finished doing one of my Friday streams. And I'd left the stream running. For the last few weeks, I've been pestered with them bloody hearts that float up the side. If anybody didn't notice, I got rid of them before we went live tonight. I'm learning. I hate the bloody things. But nobody else seems to cancel them. I think it's because you have to go in to your YouTube stream and cancel it every time you put a stream up. You can't have it set so it comes on automatically, unfortunately. Yeah, DJ, it's I've been diagnosed with a blood disorder as well, which from what they tell me is the same as a cancerous version, but it's not cancerous. I'm still undergoing treatment for that until they do some tests. but due to the strokes and more likely a few of the TIAs that I've had since, because on one or two of them, they were bad enough to more or less knock me unconscious. In fact, I had one of them live on a stream here one night, and Heather had to come out. I was on the floor out in the hall. The ME, the chronic fatigue, it affects me a lot, but I never know when it's going to do it. Like, I've been a bit run down for the last few days. I know my eyes are suffering. I've been suffering with my eyes all day. Sleep patterns are terrible. I feel awful. I've got the sniffles. And that's why, like tonight, I always say, since I've been doing these on the Sunday for Dan, I'll always knock it on the head by 12 o'clock. But I always say, if I'm not feeling it, or I'm feeling a lot rougher, then I will stop early. I'm not going to push myself. Yeah, DJ. But I'm one of these, as you know. I don't use any aliases. I don't use any avatars. What you see is what you get. And I don't like to hide from people. If I like to talk to people, I like to see who I'm talking to, and I like them to see me. Evening, Simon. Hope you got the message earlier. Yeah, he's absolutely fine, mate. He's just in a fair bit of pain. He's overdone it. He knows he'd done it, and he knew it was going to happen, to be honest. But he got back absolutely fine. He's been in touch today, so hopefully normal service will resume next Sunday. But I'll be honest. I got to thank you all. The Sunday viewings have been a lot higher than my usual Friday ones. I know there's some people out there that don't like me. They're probably just hanging around in the background watching. Good evening, Obi. I'm not doing this Sunday ones for me. Yes, I have gained a few subs out of it, and thank you very much to those that are new subs. I know that hairy stare anywhere. Hi, Mikey.
Yeah, hi, buddy.
But I've done it literally because I want to provide somewhere for the regular Sunday guys to go. Right. Until you talk, God bless, I'm going to keep my finger over that button.
Good evening, sir.
That's all right.
That's our code word. I did.
Not bad, mate. Good evening, Paulette.
And good evening to the chat. People are chatting. So I'm just going to say hello here. I'm going to be lazy and not type.
Yeah, we've been getting some good numbers on a Sunday, to be honest. I was quite shocked when I looked up last week and saw 60 up there. I thought, oh, fucking hell. Oh, will I cope?
How long have you been live for? Bloody hell.
8 o'clock, mate.
Yeah, sorry. No. Just catching up on shit today. What have you covered, roughly?
Move that bottle, loafer.
That'll be covered with this
lovely
stuff.
No
oven, no pie, yeah. No
nice.
oven, no pie.
He's been supping on the home brew again, hasn't he?
Where's me and yours? No oven, no pie. Good evening.
God help us.
Where's your little cup I can put 10 pence in?
Hey, G, I done about all normal in here, mate, if you knew some of us.
No, I'm not.
Some of us in here are far from fucking normal, believe me. But yeah, Dan does get a lot more stranger ones. Simply because I run zero tolerance in here. Okay, I don't entertain idiots. I certainly won't entertain trolls. And I don't fuck around. If they're there and they're annoying me, they're gone. They're out. the beef.
Fafo. Fafo. Fuck about and find out.
Yeah, it's zero tolerance. I've always run my channel that way right from the beginning. You know, okay, some people don't like me for it, but those that do come in here know that the channel is kept clean.
So why don't you run for being a PM then? And sort it all out for us, please.
I'll tell you what, mate, I'd love to get into Ofcom.
Yeah. So fucked off with
Half of
everything.
YouTube would be fucking wiped out straight away.
Oh, hi, Roger.
Hello, sweetheart. Where is she? Where is she?
She's behind the camera. Hang on.
Oh.
I don't know how to change the camera. Hang on.
That's all.
Is that a corned beef hash pie?
It
Hang
is,
on.
yeah. She's a,
Wow.
gone a bit skinny with meat. It's supposed to be meat potato, but there's more
There you go.
potato than meat, so I put a bit of corned beef in with it.
I was going to say, because there's loads of meat in there. I'm having a chili con carne in a minute.
Yes, Obi, it is in a mess, and
hang
at
on.
the moment, I can't see any way out to make it any better until this fucking government go and the police decide they're going to work for us and get with us rather than against us. And the only way that's going to happen, they won't change their mindset now they've tasted all this power. The only way that would ever get sorted is them being replaced, in my opinion.
They've got drunk on power, haven't they?
What the hell is she? That looks like. Is that a terrorist version of Barbie?
Yeah, my pajamas are too big for me.
All the best
Oh.
things are.
Think yourself lucky I don't own any.
No, yeah. TMI, Rog. I'm that thought in my head.
Get off, all of you.
No, if you don't wear anything in bed and, you know, it stops you
It's
rolling over all the time.
Whoops. Speeding by about 100 mile an hour. Oops, daisy.
Oh, dear. Oh, it's Sunday, and I suppose it's going to get to this level at some point.
Can I ask
Come
one?
on.
Well, you go to bed early now, so we have to bring the pap kind of like going down that level earlier.
What did you want to say, hon?
Yeah, I wanted to. Mikey, my grandson is thinking about being a train driver as a profession. Should I get in that game?
Yo.
Yeah, it's good fun. He'll enjoy it.
Sure.
Might
This
get him
one's
in-
Train Sim World 2. I've got Train Sim World 4 coming for Christmas.
I'll need to make sure that I'm buying for the right machine because I can't remember what his new machine is. He's just had it for his birthday, one of the new ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Get it off him and send Mikey a DM.
No, I don't. I know it's a train sim, but I don't think he's got one. What'd you get for the wannabe train driver? I'd be bored silly.
Oh no, Dan loves it. Something about the chuffer, up the chuffer or something. It's a train thing, I think. Where is it anyway?
He's at his mum's.
Yeah, no, know that. Where is he on here?
Not in.
He's not in at the moment, mate. He was still in a lot of discomfort and pain early.
I was supposed to go with him
earlier.
yesterday, but I didn't go in the end because I had to look after. She's been promoted in her work, and she had to work yesterday as I don't know, chef man. She's a kitchen chef or whatever, the highest one. So I didn't go. I'm glad I didn't go really because it was so cold and I felt so shit. And it's just like, wow, it was our guys are well behaved yesterday. Don't listen to anything the Daily Mail and the GB News have gone.
Mainstream media have been biased all along. They blame Tommy.
no.
I mean, I don't follow Tommy. I don't particularly like the guy. I've got nothing against him. But the press seemed to be aiming everything at him. He started it. It was his pick. He was fucking nowhere near him.
Here, you love my conspiracy theory.
He'd already
Didn't
got
Elon
the taxi
Musk
and left
be-
London.
Didn't Elon Musk meet up with Rishi Sunak, the guy who owns Twitter, and who
Yeah.
got the Twitter accounts back just before the fucking
Yeah,
thing
it
kicked
was
off?
at the AI conference.
Yeah, Hey, oh. Join the dots. Join the dots.
But again, see, they've done a turnaround on that. Everything, oh, AI is going to be this. It's the way ahead. And now, since they've been listening to the people, we've been saying, look into this. This fucking thing can be dangerous, you know?
Yeah,
It's
but
not the be all to end all.
Rog, this can it be used against us as well, though? Because you know this thing about this Sadiq cunt. I mean, Khan. That's the one.
It could actually, with its reasoning, it's only got to get a little bit more advanced, and it could turn itself against us, mate.
Yeah, that's true. But this thing about this Sadiq Khan thing, where apparently the police are investigating this crime where
the fake message. Yeah.
Right now, did it really? Now let's look at it this way. They're trying to say it's AI and all that kind of stuff, but was it? Are they just saying it's AI because he fucked up?
Well, this is why I put out the. I didn't retract it when I said it, and I put posted the thing about it on Facebook. What I actually said on there was apparently this has been called fake.
Yes.
Yes, you could absolutely be right, mate. Absolutely, you could be right.
Because Rich, if you look back at his history, his aide when he's running for mayor electoral got sacked, didn't he? If you remember that, for calling little white slag girls and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then his links to the Muslim Brotherhood, and bearing in mind he used to be a solicitor defending
him. Yeah.
So he hasn't got exactly a good CV, has he, to start with?
No. I mean, I was so fucking angry, and that's why I posted it on Facebook. A fucking Khan putting all this food out on the floor, all paid for the Muslims to, to celebrate at the end of their fasting or whatever it is.
Yeah, Ramadan.
Why can't he put that amount of food in front of the fucking homeless and the veterans and people like that, people that are struggling? He'll feed them fuckers, but he won't feed anybody else.
And being allowed to pray outside the out 10 Downing Street, thousands of them, as a show of power. That's all it is.
Yeah. You got Christian. Now, we don't do religion in here.
I know you don't.
I don't care about it. But when I see a Christian get arrested on the street for praying silently, gets locked up for it, gets ID'd for it, yet they'll stand there and watch a fucking Muslim kneel down in front of the cemetery to say his fucking prayers, that to me is wrong.
I know. That's why I've been coming up with it, because I'm raging at the moment. And I know you don't do religion, politics and that. But I just, what I do, I know what you do is patriotism and our country. And that's it. But it fires back to that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Fires back to that.
Yes. That's what I said, mate. It is very, very close becoming illegal to be fucking English in our own country.
But refugees in our own country. I mean, if we had to become refugees, where could we go in the world right now? Fucking Israel. That's probably about the only place.
You not read that Douglas Murray book, Strange Death of Europe, and the peoples of England were lost, the only place left on earth to call home.
Yes. Yeah. Now we know how the Jews feel. I mean, I ain't got nothing against the Jews. I don't see no Jewish grooming gangs or drug dealers or FGM and all that stuff. It's just...
well, you look at it this way. The Jews... It's a well-known thing. They're very, very good businessmen.
Yeah, look at what people bring to the table.
Now, how many others that aren't Jews have followed their business profiles and everything like that and learnt business and got a business because they followed the way they do things?
The Hindus or Sikhs, the Chinese, Free Chinese in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
The Lebanese go round up the west coast of Africa. There were the mercantile classes, the go-betweens between the Christians and the Muslims. They hated each other. Going back 1,000 years ago, they really hated each other, but they still traded with each other. But the only people they could employ as go-betweens for the merchant classes were the Jewish people.
Yeah. Good night, Sean. Take care, sweetheart. Thanks for dropping in.
Good night, Sean. You've got to think about this, right? Who brings what to the table? We want to prosper. This country wants to prosper. And we don't want... I mean... Just think about who brings what to the table.
Yeah, and not all Muslims are bad. Not all Muslims are bad. Some of them that I've even seen one or two stand up and said, "No, we don't agree what they're doing there." You know, they're fighting for the wrong thing. And as I said, what is the point of protesting in this country? We're not the ones that are going to stop your fucking war for you. Go and protest in your own country.
Yeah.
No, you won't, because you haven't got the fucking bollocks to. You want to come here and disrupt us into doing something. That's not how you work.
Not disrupt, bully.
Yeah.
A dictate.
Harass.
A dictate.
I'm following Majid Nawaz on Twitter. Has Majid Nawaz gone completely AWOL over the top, or is he speaking too much truth? Because
I don't do Twitter, mate.
I do like it. I do like it because you do see a lot of collection of people. Once you click on the right things, you get the right information coming through.
It's too toxic. Facebook's bad enough. And I'm only on there because I got coerced. I had to admit it has been good in some ways for me because I've managed to catch up with a lot of people and a lot of friends from the past.
Yeah.
Who didn't even know I was still alive. They thought I died on motorbikes or in cars some years ago, some of them. But yeah, in that way, it is a good thing.
And to store your photographs as well when you go out and take pictures and you send it and share it. And you can go back over the world over the years.
Anything I put on there, I take photographs of. I either show on here if people want to see them, or if they want to go through me photographs, they can come around here and look at them. I don't. That's why I don't go on there and like these food bloody clips and influence. I can't. That's just wrong. It shouldn't be on there. I don't want to know what everybody had for their fucking dinner, or I just had a nice glass of wine. Well, fucking go and have another one. Leave us alone.
Hey, Rog, on the Facebook, did you see that post I shared of that? Because I thought about you, actually. No, it wasn't anything bad. The bike chase in Brazil with the coppers chasing us. Wicked. That was good, wasn't it?
They don't fuck around over there, mate. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I know, but when they was going over the speed runs, because he had a little girl on it. He had a girl on the back of it. Fucking funny. I was going, go on.
I'll tell you what, I even in my worst days, I would not be ripping round streets like that on a bike, no matter what was chasing me, mate.
Oh, it was a good chase. It's a good chase. I like to see what happened at the end.
You know, they say, they got no respect for anybody's lives doing that. They got no respect for their own riding like that in public. You know?
Yeah.
And how we got away with so many of them gaps and corners.
I know, going in between the cars and then coming up to a T-junction, just go straight across it.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm like, oh.
No, I must admit, though, I mean, I put my hands up when I was a kid. When I was about 16, 17, I liked the big bikes. I didn't want no fucking fizzy or anything like that, or, like a 50cc or step through. And then I learned that if you're on a motorbike and you're a kid and the police go to pull you over, you don't have. Yeah, you could just go on a motorbike. It's just you off, isn't you? I mean, I'm not trying to imply that you'd ever break the law as well, but when you was a kid,
my first moped. I don't know whether you remember him or if you're old enough. Was the Gilera Cross?
Yeah.
Looked like a little dirt bike, but it actually had pedals. You had to unlock one to turn it over so you could pedal it.
Yeah, flip it back.
But it did have a kickstart. So now I bought this, and within a week, the engine was out. There was a set of pedals welded to the frame, and there was an 80cc motocross engine stuffed in it. I had the only moped, other than a Frantic T, that was capable of doing over 68 miles an hour in the county.
Hey, watch, we're all saved. We're all saved. Aliens didn't come and save us. The second coming. Look, police abuse of powers has risen. The second coming, you prick.
Mate.
Yeah. he fucking left me hanging for 24 hours. Right, last time I spoke to him, he's in a taxi. I thought he was going to die. And I've been trying to message him. It's only because I looked on Facebook today, something about 4 o'clock this afternoon. I thought, oh, look, he's been messaging. Fucker, you're a fucker, Dan. You know you're going to get a roasting when I speak to you privately. Anyway, I thought you tried to put me on a guilt trip because I didn't turn up and be with him.
Simon, he's rocking a the warehouse with the Caramacs?
Sorry?
Is it Nestle or Cadbury's?
Caramac.
You know the Caramac bars?
Yeah.
They're stopping production. Everybody's buying them up by the box.
Yeah, I know. So have you seen what I've been going for on eBay?
Yeah, I know.
50 quid for a bar of fucking chocolate.
I'll tell you what, I had a bigger shock today when I saw something. It looks like an old original Escort RS
Yeah.
with a Cosworth lump in it. Not the turbo, the naturally aspirated one.
Yeah. Injection.
Was auctioned off for 108,000.
Fuck.
I might be wrong, but that's the way I read it. 108,000 for an Escort.
Good evening, everyone in chat. Sorry if I'm not typing back, but I see you.
Resist, yeah. Normally, when I go up, I have my father's old cap badge. It's a regiment that doesn't exist anymore. It's morphed around through quite a few stages, and it was the original Berkshire Rifles, which became, I think, Berkshire, Wiltshire, Hampshire. Then they became the Royal Green Jackets. I think Beardy might know more about that than me, but I definitely know they ended up as the Royal Green Jackets, which were renowned for being the fastest marching company in the British Army. Also, is that right, Beardy?
I'm not sure because I wasn't infantry. I was Remy.
Yeah, I
sounds
remember
about right.
someone telling me about it, that they were the fastest marching company at the time. I don't even know what they're called now.
They don't exist
How are
anymore.
you feeling
They're
anyway,
about-
Dan? Everybody knows you dig. Yes, resist. Yep. And it's a shame that there's still people that turn up to these events and they don't know how to wear their relatives' medals. As Beardy will tell you, there is a certain way and a certain side to wear them.
It's on the left, on the left hand side, isn't it?
No, only and it's serving on the left, isn't it?
Yeah, serving on the left, family on the right.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's right. Yeah.
And I did notice there again in several videos yesterday that no disrespect to the people that were wearing them wrong, but it's something that the left will pick up on and shit like that, isn't it? You know, they'll moan, "Oh yeah, you're not a proper patriot. You're wearing the medals on the wrong side." You pin them to your fucking forehead as long as you've got the respect for the people that fucking earned them. It don't matter, do it? You know what I mean? No, you didn't fail, Dan. You went out in a right state before you even got to that level. So, no,
You don't want to
didn't
know what
fail.
you're feeling
You
wank
didn't
for.
fail, and you didn't want to fail. That's why you ended up there. You didn't fail at all. I felt like a lord. Doors open. Respect for an Englishman. You know what? The amount of times that I've opened a door for a woman and they just stood there and fucking looked at me.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that in the men's toilets?
Yeah, it was on the way out.
Many years ago, I had a gentleman hold the door open for me, and he said, "You're not offended at me holding the door open, are you?" I said, "No, it's bloody manners."
Did he have a bun? Those hair buns? And a pair of potatoes?
No, it's manners. I would have held the door for him. He held the door for me. It's manners.
No, it's chivalry for the guy to do that. I'm old school. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck what people think. Oh, it's equal right. Yeah, it's equal rights, but still, you can still be a gentleman.
This is the way the cookie crumbles. This is the way it goes. It goes from one extreme to another. The feminists will say that you're a bad person keeping the door open. So this is what I did. I wrote my contracts employed. Goes, this lovely lass in Treasury. She always gets me petty cash on time. And she was struggling in with a big box. So I held the door open for her. And I said, don't give me that look. I'm holding the door open. You don't call me a misogynistic, chauvinistic male. You don't know how I'm self-identifying. Outwardly, I might have a beard and meat and two veg, but you might want to call me Loretta today. Touche. So if you're a feminist, a rad feminist, I'm going to go at me for being a chauvinistic misogynist. I'm going to call you a turf. And she looked at me and she sniggered and she knew exactly what I was talking about. And I thought she was a normie.
All that, and I thought, I bet she was only going to say thank you.
No, she laughed at me, but most people laugh at me anyway. I mean, I used to.
About 10 minutes before I went live, Heather actually said, are we going to have Loretta tonight or are we having Lofa?
I'm a lady.
Yes, Stan.
I went on Jamie's stream the other night and I couldn't believe it because I've all been on X for about, or Twitter, what it is, for a couple of months. And I follow that evolutionary psychologist, Gad Saad. He's been on Joe Rogan about 5 times. I thought, well, I've read his book. He's interesting. And he posted, I'll put it in the StreamYard chat. You can share it if you want, Roger. My apologies if you no longer find me interesting. I'll try and post more food pics in hope that you'll return. Losing your approval is a way more concerning, having me to call my family in the Middle East to see if they're still alive. It would be selfish of me to do so. I'll be better soon, Mr. Crinkle. The highlighted reply was Henry Crinkle.
Gary, chivalry isn't dead.
Unbelievable.
It's just that people don't practice it nowadays. Because people look down on you if you do. And yes, Rippy, it is always polite. If you open a door and there's someone waiting behind you, to hold the door for them.
Yes. Yes.
That to me is common courtesy. Manners, yeah.
And if you take a lady out on a date, if you take out someone you've met and you go out for a meal and the guy, look, I don't care what you all say. It's down. It doesn't mean that you're going to get some kind of special treatment afterwards, but you paid a treat. You paid for the meal. If you invited someone out for the meal, even if it's another guy, you pay for the meal. I don't know. That sounded wrong. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's polite.
Or you pay for what comes after. Yeah. No, but that's the way I always used to do it. You know, if I've invited them out, yeah, I've invited them. If I invited them round to my place for dinner or whatever, I'd expect to have to cook and pay that.
You treat them specially. Yeah, you treat them specially.
Invite somebody out, you know.
Yeah, you show them that you care and you're treating them like a special person.
Yeah.
Special
I have had the odd one or two in the past where I turn around and say, well, look, what am I getting for the amount that I'm spending on the dinner and booze on you? But just to make sure.
Just to make sure you don't take out one of those YouTubers, like what's her name, Laura Zoots or something, where she eats as much as you like. Fucking hell, can you imagine taking someone like that out? On the 15th course.
I don't understand these
that
people
lizard.
that themselves get like that and then
Lizard.
start complaining because they can't fit in a fucking plane. You know, it's self-inflicted.
Oh, for some people, yeah. For some people.
Yes, Gary, I'm always the same, and Heather will tell you, I'm always like that. Always. I'll always get up, and even though I can't move half the time, if I needed to, I'd even get up and give my seat to a lady if needed.
Always.
As long as I consider them to be a lady that's standing. If it's one of these with, God, fuck you stand. You know what I mean?
The fluorescent rainbow in her hair.
I just don't go out then I have to deal with people.
What was it? I used to call them the purple-haired herbivores or something.
The blue-haired Taliban. That's a what,
Multicolored
Taliban. Yeah.
Sorry, Mikey. What was you going to say there, mate?
I said I just don't go out anymore. That way I don't have to deal with anyone.
I very rarely do, buddy. I might nip up the town if there's something I need or if I just feel like I need to stretch my legs or something. But I don't go out. I don't go to the pubs. Heather and the daughter and the family and that will go out for a meal somewhere on a Sunday rather than cook. And I don't go. So I just don't enjoy it.
Rog, same as, mate. Do you know what? I don't know if it's due to the lockdown. I mean, I was so an outgoing person. You know, we just get a map and just close our eyes and, you know, touch the map and say, we're going to go there today on a Sunday for fun. But it's the cost of living. How to reduce that? Steve,
I've had an alert pop up. Your guest fully boiled is on Android and has a bug that causes echo.
Echo.
Acid.
Hey, sorry, how are you?
Please Google it. Working. No, this is actually, I've never seen this before.
No.
Google is working to fix it. For now, please ask your guest to wear headphones to avoid echo. Use the browser. We have also.
Can't afford headphones.
You should have got that message as well.
Steve, can you close the one that is watching on or mute it?
Oh, it really is echoing, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just mute myself. I'll probably
No.
So.
1, 2, 3. That's better. I think he's muted himself.
I've never seen the message like that pop up. It's still echoing, yeah.
Yeah. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Simon Hogg, good evening.
Has he got echo cancellation on?
No,
He's got a bug
in it.
I think he's on a mobile phone. Are you on a mobile phone, Steve?
Yeah.
I'm on a phone as well.
Yeah. So you got two pages
That's
open.
what it said. You're on an Android device that's got a bug in it.
He's got an infected phone.
Yeah,
Got a phone with
your
STDs.
phone's infected with something, Steve.
Oh, has it stopped echoing now? Yeah, it has. Anyway, what I was saying was,
he muted himself.
I just stay in as well, mate. I don't know if it's down to lockdown or cost of living or I'm just an unsociable fucker now or just can't be asked to go out. It is, though, isn't it? It's too expensive to go out these days. And I can sit here in my pants. I don't go to the pubs either. I can sit here in my pants and I'm not sat in my pants now, by the way, and have a beer. So I get like
Still echoing.
That's 5 pints. So I can sit here and have 1 pint in a pub. I could have 5 pints at home.
Yeah, but me and my daughter do all the cooking, so occasionally we like a day off.
No, that's true. No, Mrs. W, Heather, that's true as well. My wife goes out as well, takes the kids out. They ask me to come, and I used to like going out, but I just, the food's going to be shit. It's going to turn out cold. I've even got, listen, you know those things, those probes you put in your food. Well, at the moment, I know, don't judge me. McDonald's are doing these special deals where you get 99p burgers that are normally 5-6 quid. I take it in with me, and I say to them, I want it so hot, I want to go to A&E afterwards. Can you do that, please? No, I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth. And they go off, and they come back, and I put it to my face, and I say, that's not very warm. So I've got to eat in it, and it's tepid. I fucking hate tepid food. And I know by law they're going to do it 75% upwards. So now I've got this thing off Amazon for 16 quid. I go in there, and I just look at the member of staff and said, look what I got. And I'll tell you what, I know it's shit food, but when it's piping hot, steaming, and for the money, it ain't too bad. I go in there with 3 different mobile phones, so you're only allowed 1 offer on the app. So I take 3 different mobile phones in there with different accounts. So 3 times 99 pence, I can get loads of food. Anyway.
Is anybody else getting the chat disappear and then come back up?
No, mine's okay. But I'm in the live chat as in YouTube, not the back chat on there.
Yeah, I got both in front of me, but the YouTube one keeps disappearing. I don't know whether if it was the computer trying to open something, it would do it over the whole screen, but it's not. It's just, I think YouTube are fucking around in there.
Back in 3, I need a wee. I didn't say back in 2.
But yeah, I begrudge paying the money that they ask for meals when you go out to eat. Yeah, all right, some places do put on a nice display, but anybody can make a fucking pie look pretty if you wanted to. And I just don't enjoy it. I don't feel comfortable. I'd rather sit at home and have a bloody corned beef and pickle sandwich, you know?
Corned beef and brown sauce.
Yeah.
I've got to the point where certain things I don't order when
Corned
I'm out.
beef and fruity sauce.
Don't forget to check the temperature of your pee. Well, if you've got something nasty, you can usually tell it's that hot when it comes out.
Why does it hurt when I pee?
I used to work in the pubs, Gabby. I used to work on the door, but I just don't feel comfortable in them anymore. Plus, I don't drink, so. What we got a panel?
Oh, I really want some chocolate.
No, DJ.
Don't like truffles, but I just.
Oh,
some
that's.
chocolate.
I couldn't pay that sort of money and eat something that they charge that amount for that smells that bad. I'd quite happily eat cold Chinese. No, I'll eat cold curry. I'll even eat cold mince.
I like cold mints, but I left mine out overnight, so I was really pissed off.
Well, it stops it running out the sandwiches, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I'd left it out on the side overnight, and I didn't realise it. So I couldn't eat it then because it'd been out for more than 2 hours. I was not amused.
The only one you got to be very careful about with that the next day is the rice that comes with some of the meals. That can be very dangerous to heat up, and something to do with just, I don't know, the starches or something in it. I think I didn't look into it, but if you just hang on a sec, guys, chat amongst yourselves there. I'm just going to go and grab another can. How are we doing on time? 9:20. How long is it since I said that?
That'll leave me and Bearded in the room all together, all alone. And I've got to go out at some point and empty all my tools out of my vehicle.
And all quiet.
All quiet on the west. Yeah, Heather. If you look on YouTube,
Yeah.
for Train Driver Plays Train Sim World, there's loads of videos of real train drivers playing this, and they're quite positive about it.
And the one you've got is 2.
Yeah, I've got 2, and number 4 comes out next week.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that I might be able to pick up an older game secondhand because he's not proud,
Yeah.
my boy.
Well, Train Sim World 2 is about £25 brand new.
Okay.
So you got Train Sim World 3, which is £40, then Train Sim World 4, which is £40 as well.
Yeah,
But
it's just if he doesn't get on with it, if it's not his scene, then there's no point spending a lot of money on it.
nah.
Does that
If
mean
you want
he's
to be a
got
train driver, they'll enjoy it.
driving thing into thing with levers and that for driving?
I haven't got a clue. Sorry, what did you say, Mikey? You talked over you.
I said if he wants to be a train driver, he'll enjoy it because it uses real routes and things like that.
Okay.
The way they do it is they make an arrangement with the train company where they can actually put their cameras on the train and film it, and then they animate it.
So on that game, you can do most train routes that are out there in this country.
Not most train routes. Each game's got certain train routes, but you can buy more if you want to. And you can buy
There's
more
always
trains and
add-ons,
things.
aren't there, that are going to cost you.
But to be fair, there's 5 main sort of train companies on this one, and each one has got at least 2 or 3 locomotives with it, and about 30 or 40 different routes that you can do.
Nearest I got to that was the Hornby set up in the loft.
I mean, if you're really looking for excitement, on the VR, there's a game on the VR where you can jet wash. I shit you not. Can you imagine just sat there with a headpiece on, sat there, and you could get on the PC as well, and you make things clean with a jet wash. I mean,
Yeah, I've seen that.
second none to paint drying. It'd be a VR game.
Iron
You can
loafer.
paint dry.
I've never. I mean, as I said, the only thing I ever played and I had as a kid was that table tennis ping pong thing.
That's because that's all they've invented then.
One of my cousins, I think it was, had one of these. Oh, we did have the posh version. It had the light gun on it. He had one of these early ones where it was a console again that plugged into the telly and you flew a jet over and dropped bombs and shot things.
Yeah.
I crashed
What
that.
was it called? What was it called? Gaza.
That's still coming up with that warning, Steve. Whatever device you connected,
Right, I'm having a look
it's
here.
got a bug that causes echo, mate.
Your phone's got a
Talk.
DTV.
Talk, see what it does. No, you're muted.
You must be having phone sex. It's got an
Well,
STD.
I got the warning come up, and the reason we was muted there was because I hadn't put him on the fucking panel. It was in the back room. But it still came up with the same warning.
You'll get there one day, Roger.
I've never seen that warning before, mate. We've had loads of hassle with people with echoes and all, but that's the first one that I've ever seen come up that says it's got a bug.
Don't stop.
There you go. Look, you made Gabby have a corned beef piece.
I'll tell you what I like to do. I like to get the tin rather than the slice stuff,
Yeah.
and I cut it with a serrated knife.
All right.
So it makes all the outside all rough and like a bigger surface area, and you get a lot more flavour out of it like that.
The best part of the tin ones, Rog, is where you got the fat bit on the end, isn't it?
Yeah.
Steve, I've put you up there, but it's still coming up with the same thing, mate.
I know I saw that warning again, but I've got earbuds in now. Is my audio any better?
Yours is
Yeah.
good. And there's
Yeah.
no echo.
No, I've got my
echo,
earbuds in now.
but there is like a whirring going on there, so-
Yeah.
but that's a lot better. It's tolerable like that.
That whirring is probably my brain trying to think of something to say.
It's the hamster wheel. Needs greasing, mate.
It hasn't worked on quite a while, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that's
I've
okay.
never-
That's
I've never
acceptable.
seen that warning ever since I've never seen it on anybody else's streams either.
I've never heard
Yeah.
anyone else say that as well, Rog. You're special.
No. And that came up on StreamYard, not YouTube.
Yeah.
But it did say Google was trying to fix it.
I think I know what it is, though. It's because last time I was here, it said, do you want to sync up to Google Chat to YouTube or something? And I thought it might save me going into the comments every time to try and see them. But it didn't. It just caused a whole raft of problems, the first of which we're seeing now.
That's it. A lot of the phones, I don't do YouTube on my phone. For some reason, it won't let me install it. But anything I do online is done from here. I don't do anything on my phone when I'm out. The only time that phone comes with me, in fact, is when I'm away or I'm filming somewhere, because
Sorry,
I
guys.
prefer to use that rather than my personal phone as the device.
Well, hang on a minute. Where's my mute? Hang on. Sorry. Bear with me.
Even then, I'll turn the Wi-Fi off. It's so I don't get bothered by any of the spam adverts, cold calling on it. I think I've had one cold call in the 2 years I've had it. Simply because I don't connect it to anybody, like, you know. But
Nobody's got the number.
Hey?
Because nobody's got that number.
Not my personal one, no. The other ones, it's under every video on my channel. But yeah, I've got WhatsApp on it because I don't have WhatsApp on the computer. I've got one or two mates that do prefer WhatsApp. When we are out fishing and on holiday, I will turn it on occasionally to see if there's any messages there, but that's about it.
It's very handy to have the video call option though.
Yeah, it
Especially
is.
if you're fishing or something, all the better.
Well, to be honest, Heather's got video calling on hers because she's always talking to her daughter and that. And if we're fishing, we're always together anyway. So, but I don't tend to talk to people when I'm fishing. I tend to concentrate on the fishing or filming in some cases. Seems a bit more finely immense. Depends which ones you get, darling.
I've tried half a dozen and you keep throwing them at me.
Yeah, do you know what? I actually prefer the cheaper ones normally.
I've tried cheap ones, I've tried expensive ones, and you moan about all of them, so I end up eating corned beef. So I'll buy the slices now because you don't complain about them.
Yeah, DJ. The thing with me is, again, with the brain freeze and everything else, I've got so much on this computer now. I sometimes I don't even know where the alerts are coming from what's coming in. I know it's not YouTube because the bastards don't send me any alerts, but but there's a lot of people getting shadow banned now. Even Rev has been shadow banned, and I keep meaning to put WhatsApp on here, but it's just easier to answer it on the phone. It's always there. Actually, what's that one doing plugged in? So I've just noticed I've got a third camera plugged in and I'm wondering why. Pickle, Henderson's relish. Don't go a lot on the relish.
Henderson's is like Worcester sauce, darling.
Oh, I don't mind a little bit of Worcester sauce. Especially on
Worcestershire
the
sauce.
I like fruity sauce.
I got a habit of putting sweet chili sauce on a lot of things. Or salad cream. That's my usual go-to one. I'll have salad cream with my Christmas dinner.
Not if I see you won't.
Salad cream with cold meats. Yeah.
That's not your Christmas dinner, that's your Christmas night tea.
Now, Boxing Day is traditionally your cold meats, your hot spuds, and your pickles and things.
Kev says he wants cheese, and more cheese Christmas. So,
Buy him a £5 block
Chilling
of
it,
cheese.
but in the combo.
no, different cheeses. He just
Oh,
wants
different
a
cheese.
cheese board.
Buffalo cheese and so good. Yeah. Well, I'll put it in burgers, hot dogs, and all sorts. It doesn't go down very well with rice. Wandering off tilt there somewhere. Salad cream and rice. I might try that one day, actually.
No, please.
Why not? Why not? Salad cream is usually underestimated.
Can't stand it.
Oh, it's delicious, especially on like cucumbers, that sort of thing.
Can't, no.
I mean, do you like mayonnaise and vinaigrette? It's basically those two mixed together.
Yeah, I don't mind the mayonnaise. I'll have plenty of mayonnaise on a kebab.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know exactly the difference between salad cream and mayonnaise, and I'd rather have mayonnaise. I'm not a big lover of vinegar sauces. Even tomato ketchup, I buy one that's really, really expensive because it hasn't got a lot of vinegar in.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, Chris. You'd normally have a steak with a fry up anyway. It's just got a bit of pastry around it, isn't it? I remember the first time I ever had a continental breakfast. I'd never had one before, never fucking heard of one. So, would you like the continental or the English? I put this plate with these bloody buns and things in. What the fuck is that? Where's the meat? Oh dear.
Hard-boiled eggs and ham in Holland.
I tell you the one that I found strange the
Hi,
first
Lothar.
time I went over there was Sicily and Italy. I couldn't get used to the fact that they don't make sandwiches. You get a bread roll type thing. No butter. They're usually dry.
That's them.
But
That's them giving you the cold shoulder, trying to get you out of the place.
Bugger, I've left my back in car.
Heather and her daughter for 1 year, a few years back, because I love me Parma ham. And they bought me a big bloody joint of it, complete with the mountain rack with the spikes. I spent about a week and a half cutting stuff off of this and eating it. And in the end, I just look, it's going wrong. It's going horrible. It's going. I can't eat all this.
First time we ever fed the cat Parma ham.
Yeah, the cat liked Parma ham that year, didn't she?
I told her not. I told her it was far too much, but no. She was. It was the giggle factor. It's like the bar of chocolate.
I must find that picture out. I took a picture of it, of the cat, and she's just sat there looking at it. Fucking great big thing.
It is delicious, that Parma ham, though. It is lovely.
Oh, I love it. And even the other one,
Well, they were selling them.
the Spanish version.
Prosciutto?
They
Italian?
sold them last year as well. So check Asda. They were about 25, 30 quid. Huge piece of ham.
Jesus.
Well, Jay, believe it or not, considering I used to work on the boats and everything to do and around fishing, I eat very, very rarely eat fish. I might have a bit of fishing batter or some fish fingers, but that's about it. I don't go out and buy whole fish to cook or. Yep, some people are allergic to fish, DJ. I have come across that before. Luckily, I'm not one of them. But a lot of the fish they class as the expensive, tasty fish, I find bland, to be honest.
Mm.
And people wouldn't eat cod if they saw all the worms that are in it when they fillet them.
Oh, they're the best bit.
Well, once they're cooked, they're harmless. You know, people don't realise cod are, unless they're way open water like Icelandic cod.
What are you talking about, Roger? They're not harmless. They have fins.
Oh, come on.
The
Referee.
cod you catch around our shores is basically
Roger, I thought you had zero tolerance in this channel. You can't let Lothar get away with jokes like that.
they're not as bad as some of mine sometimes, mate.
Wait till I've had 3 or 4 pints. They'll be filthy.
Basically, a cod is a dustbin. I mean, we proved it 1 year, a mate of mine. It was funny as fuck. Everybody's got their own favourite baits when they're fishing. Oh, this bait will catch this. That bait will catch this. And he said, you'll catch cod on anything. And what he did, he took half of a plastic cup, stuck a hook through it, chucked it out, and 3 minutes later, he had a 4.5 pound cod on the end on a plastic cup as bait.
Look at that.
For those interested in buying a Serrano ham, Asda have them available £35 this year. It's a lot of ham.
It is a lot. It goes a very long way. My missus gets a Parma, well, them really, really dry cured hams that comes on the bone. You don't have to even put it in fridge. You can be carving away at it for weeks, and it's still
that's
all right.
Parma ham.
Yeah, Parma. My missus normally gets one every year. Lasts forever.
And the difference between Parma ham and the other cured hams is Parma is actually cured in ash. It's put in the cloth and buried in the ash. Cold ash, I might add. You off, DJ? All right, sweetheart. Thanks ever so much for dropping in. Nice to speak to you again.
Yeah, good to see you, Vix. Glad you're keeping well. Well,
as well as can be, yeah. Yeah, but you don't get much fresh in Birmingham crafts. And to be honest, and a lot of places where you'll get fish and chips around the coast, the fish isn't local either. It's usually frozen. Yeah, Dave, you will. Grimsby, places like that. There's a couple of places down in Cornwall as well where I know that you can go and get fresh fish.
They're closed in supermarkets. They're closing a lot of the fish counters, aren't they?
Mm.
Because people just don't buy them anymore.
Well, this was another good thing with Facebook, because I found out some of the guys that I knew back then that were into their fishing and got their boats and working boats down there. One or two of them still work.
Hmm.
And there's one, it was quite weird to see it. It was posted on Facebook. There's a lady on there puts regular photos up from Newquay on a daily basis, actually. She took a few of the harbour, and I saw the boat there. I know that boat. And it was Tamarisk, which was a converted ship's lifeboat. Funny enough, a wooden ship's lifeboat converted into a small fishing boat. And that was the one where the guy got his toe bitten off by a conker eel on, the skipper. But I looked at the pictures along with it, and apparently he's still working it. So it's a good boat to go on, actually. He's a very knowledgeable bloke. If anybody's down there and wants a charter, it's Tamarisk, the boat's called. Although I don't think there's that many do the trips from Newquay anymore. Rippy, you're about 8 miles from Grimsby. I suppose, well, we are literally central. Except for going north. We're closer to the coast, west and south. West and east, we're a bit further south from the coast. North, we're in the middle, so you just keep driving. But yeah, well, Chris, that green where you're on about there, I had a flat literally overlooking that.
That was where we first stopped.
That was in the hotel on the Crescent. Yeah. But I had a flat next to what used to be the old bus station there. I used to quite often just get up at all times of night with the tide. I'd just walk down to Tower Beach and see if there's any bass about.
Did you ever hear of that story about canal barging called Three Men in a Boat?
Oh, was that the one with Griff Rhys-Jones?
Yeah.
Well, they did a thing on it.
On the Thames, wasn't it?
Well, it was a book in the 1800s originally, but
yeah, there was
very
a
funny
series
book.
on telly with Griff Rhys-Jones,
The Irish bollocks.
that Dara O'Brien,
Yeah.
and somebody else.
Hang on.
And it was an old Thames, like a punt thing, but it was one of the old ones that actually had a canvas cover that you could put over the hoops so you could sleep in it as well.
Rory Gallagher, something like that.
Rory Gallagher, that's it, the Cornishman.
No, that's the guitarist. Rory McGrath.
And lining off the North Wall. Yeah, Chris, you bang on that. That Aussie bar, actually, the Walkabout, that used to be the cinema. And it's still there, actually, the Walkabout. That's where I used to go for my alligator steaks and kangaroo meat. And yeah, I know Newquay very well. I was there for a lot of years. And I was very well known around the town as well.
Especially the houses of ill repute.
Well, Heather was quite surprised the first time I took her down there, just how well known I was around the town.
Yeah.
You know, you'd walk down the road and there'd be shopkeepers walking out the shop. Morning, psycho, how you doing? You know. I mean, the whole weekend, the first one I took her down there, fair play to the guys, we didn't have to pay for a drink. Every time we turned round, there was a beer on the table. And when we said we'd had enough beer, then there was double Jack Daniels and Cokes put on the table instead. It's, yeah, a good bunch of lads down there. And I worked at a lot of them over the years on the doors. And some of them knew me through the fishing as well. Obviously, I was in the local fishing clubs.
What's Chris saying? Laugh out loud.
What, Chris Fahey?
Yeah.
I don't know. Chris, Beardy.
What did he?
Aussie bar around the corner. I didn't see what he said about there, mate. I'll be honest, my eyes were focused out of the chat.
Chris, what were you saying? What were you laughing at?
Yes, Chris, the locals are friendly, as long as they are local Cornish people. There are some very unsavoury characters down there. Except for this time of year, then you're just walking round looking at coffin dodgers. Oh, there's plenty of 420 friends down there, mate. You go down and find them on the beaches any night of the week. Or just knock on any one of the flat doors, really, that isn't a holiday let. See you, Gabby. Take care, sweetheart. Don't forget, next week, all back to normal. Dan, hopefully, will be here. Entertaining you, keep rambling on.
And on that note as well, like you Silver Surfers, I got kids to get up for in the morning for school.
Yeah,
I'm
no
not
worries, mate.
But I listened a couple of, was it last week before last, I think? I dropped quite unexpectedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a Sunday, and so I had beers a bit earlier, and I'm still in my hang on, no. And I'm still in my infancy a little bit, and I had a appetite enhancer after 6 beers. Big mistake.
Oh my! Oh dear.
Big mistake. And I still didn't find my friend Huey. I kept on screaming for him down the toilet, but he never came and said hello.
This appetite enhancer, is that a euphemism for the appetite that stops you from rolling out of bed when you're drunk?
No,
No,
just
that's called a hard-on.
I mean, just started doing it recently because I lost about 4 stone in 8 weeks, and so I started trying to get some weight back on me because I just lose my muscle tone and everything. And I bought some solid enhancer, and it's really nice. That's very Moorish, but if you saw what I did, you'll say, "Is that going to do anything to you?" It does. Trust me, it's just the most skinniest little thing you've ever seen. And it just gives me that little kick, and I just go like around the house and eat everything in sight. But
Which is good except for the noise.
I went from 18.5 stone
yeah,
to under 11 in 3 months.
yeah. What was your what? Why was that for you, Roger?
Work.
And
Powder
a
up
massive
the
shit
nose,
in
working 18 to 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
I just turned into a robot, and it weren't until I woke up one day because I couldn't remember how I got there. Not the Avon, the big bridge over the Severn, the Avonmouth Bridge.
Yeah.
I found myself halfway along the walkway there one day and couldn't remember getting there.
That's not clever.
I mean, for me,
I only lived about
you're
2
saying,
miles away. I only lived in Shirehampton, but it was weird. And I thought, no, I got to sort myself out here.
Sounds
for
like
me,
some
it's
sort of
like being able to get out
like
and,
a
firefighters.
psychosomatic disorder.
Yeah, it was, back in the day, 70s, even into the 80s. Yeah, we were still dropping acid and shit like that. That was probably the worst time for me. Usually I've just had me smoke, and as I quite often say now, yes, I admit I still smoke a little bit of the devil's lettuce, but I use it today now for medicinal purposes, and it is medicinal only. I don't use it for a high.
No, same as. That's what I said. I just have get to about 8 o'clock, and it takes about 15 minutes. So I say to her, "Can you do my food now, please?" and I have a little one, and it's so fucking skinny. Honestly, it's so bitted up and broken down into the most minuscule pieces to go so I don't get any blood burns. And that's it. I have that, and that's it. Food, feed me now.
Yes, Jay, money was good then, mate, especially when you were pulling triple shifts and graveyard shifts and night shifts. It was even better when you were single.
Anyway, I've got to go. Roger,
All
thanks
right,
for letting me up on
take it
panel.
easy,
Good night,
mate.
everyone in chat.
Let
Panel,
Simon.
everyone. Everybody say hello to everyone in the chat. It's just I did in a way.
Next week, Simon, I'll be back to my normal Friday afternoon.
Friday afternoons, yeah. Brilliant, mate. Okay. Right, you take care. Good night, everyone. And
Bye, buddy. Look out.
see you later, guys. 3, 2, 1. I'm
And
gone.
he's gone.
Where's the gone button? Hang on a minute.
He's doing me now, isn't he?
Make like a tree and leave.
God, let's try again. 3, 2, 1. I'm gone.
Hey, it worked that time. He does that so much better than me. But yeah, I am a fussy eater, but back then I was going through a lot of shit, personally, financially, just about every way, family matters, and I just went off the rails. But yeah, the stuff back in the 70s, I mean, it was common if you went out. I mean, the worst thing we ever did was drop a tab and then go riding the motorbike. So, I mean, that
There you go, Heather.
was terrifying, to be honest.
Oh, that was better. There you go, Heather. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yeah.
That's the control panel in this train. But you can open all the doors and everything.
Oh, cool.
And then you can go through all the cabin and sit in the seats. And
I'm just messaging her to see what is new, whether it's the new PlayStation or what that he's got for his birthday.
yeah.
No good for
Oh
Chris,
my God.
no, mine isn't. And to be honest, there's no bud in it. It's the Leaf. I get enough of what I need out of it to relieve me leg problems. So I don't need any more than that.
Yeah, Jay, it's Train Sim 2.
Not the big white. So I'm just catching up with some chat here, guys. Oh, hello. What we got in there?
Oop, no, don't
He's on
want
fire.
Are you looking at StreamYards, Roger? It's that crinkle response that Gadsad highlighted. I think there's quite a few people going around with that moniker, that name.
I didn't even see anything, mate. I only saw what you'd put in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's tried to get in here before. I don't want him anywhere near me. I know I don't go anywhere near him.
Ooh, what's that?
You know, the channels he goes on, I won't go on. There was one channel that I used to go on. I won't give their names, but I went and looked at their live the other day, and he was sat in there on the fucking panel. So, and that was after he did what he did to Mark Kelly.
Some people just like the drama. I just can't be bothered.
Yeah, I can't be arsed with it, mate. It causes damage. I mean, you look at the way it annoyed Pat and what the damage it caused him there, you know, and there's no need for it. No need for it at all. I mean, if someone wants to watch porn, go and watch porn. We don't want to watch it on here, so don't bring it in here. You know? And the worst thing is, no fucker does anything about them.
I don't know what it is about that crinkle, but I never quite warmed to the guy.
I couldn't stand him from the first time I saw him, mate.
I'd have warmed to him if he was on fire.
But we're not going so far as to piss on him, though.
But, you know, and like I say, that's why I don't bother talking about them in here. It's just feeding them. You know, it's just one of them things we got to put up with on these platforms. It don't matter what platform you're on. There's idiots like that on all of them. So,
Well, psychologically, you're only talking about his false self, which he believes in, and you're like you're saying, you're only just helping to cement this imaginary character.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean,
if you're out there, good luck to you, sir.
you know, I watch a lot of videos. I do go in a few lives, but if it's a channel that I like and it's someone that I know, and those idiots are in there, sometimes I'll just sit in the background and watch. But I'd never go into a channel and be active with them people in there. It's just not worth it. Not worth it. And the thing is that's why I said I only like a small channel, because the bigger the channel, the more it attracts. You know, I mean, we're doing well. We're heading towards 520 odd subs now. We're just under 520, which I'm quite happy with. You know, I've been going a while, but I'm quite happy with that. Everybody that comes in on the live, or those that get to stay, are all reasonable, respectable people. Their opinions at times are different than mine, which absolutely fine, as long as they're given respectfully. You know, I don't mind that. But I just won't tolerate idiots. Got one wipe. More.
Yeah, I think I'm going to order that for him. Give him a taste before he gets there.
Well, that's why Kay got me this one, because it's cheaper than TSW4.
Yeah.
And she's got me that for Christmas. She wanted me to get used to it first.
CEX have got 2 for 20 quid, so.
Yeah.
Well, give him a try, isn't it?
Well, that's it as a something else, because he doesn't know what he wants for Christmas.
If you go on the game website, they have quite a lot of stuff on games on there cheap as well.
Well, we've got I don't know whether the game's still there, but we've got a game in the CEX up in the town, so next time I'm up there, I'll go and have a look.
We can pop up in the week.
Thank you. When I go to B&M.
Yep. Let's get my biscuits. Well, what I do, because I'm one of these, I'm not a big one for breakfast. Although when we're on holiday, the odd fry up before a session fishing is quite nice. But I have to take my pills that I have to take in the morning. So I take them at the same time every day, just after I get up, and that saves me having to remember them. But you can't take them on an empty stomach. So what I do is have some of these energy biscuits, you know, with the yogurts and that in. I don't mind the taste of them. We don't buy the expensive ones. So I'll have a couple of them, and that's just something in my stomach, you know, to accept the pills there to stop me throwing up. But then I have to sit and suffer with a headache for about an hour because of the blood thinners, where it's not been circulating as it should be through the night, and all of a sudden it's like, I'm free, so it's rushing around in the head. No, Chris, I'm on Clopidogrel, and there's another one there, and I'm also topping up on that on aspirins. I'm on over 300 mil of blood thinners a day. That's why I have to be very careful when I cut myself. I bruise very easily. With the amount I'm taking, it puts me at more or less the same level as a haemophiliac.
You're just an old knacker, really.
Oh, I'm broken, mate. I am seriously broken. You know, I've always said I knew it would come because of the way I've led my life.
Yeah.
I just didn't fucking expect it to come this quick and all at once.
Well, no, because you promised you'd push me round in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I did. I said I'd be the one that will still be there pushing you around in a wheelchair. It looks like I'll probably end up in one first, but
I am pushing.
Yes, Chris. I only have to knock myself. If I knock the back of my hand on the table, straight away, bruises everywhere.
Do you know what, Roger? Talking about your mobility issues forthcoming, I wonder will they invent a mobility scooter that's two abreast, a his and hers?
I've already seen a picture of two in line, 2 seats in line on one.
All right, fair enough.
That had a motorbike engine in the back of it as well. I think it was a 350 or something.
Be a bit like those high-speed rockets, like the Blue Dream or whatever it was called. Remember, it's just like a long.
I'll tell you what, though, some of them, they're bloody dangerous with them. They don't give a shit who they run into.
No, they're all armored up. It's like road rage, but it's like once they're in that cocoon, they're like, "Cook it, I'm injured already. What can they do?"
Well, what I'm considering is one of them little buggies that they got in America. You know, the little 4-wheel drive off-road things.
Yeah, quad bike.
No, not the quad. They got what do they call it? They take them up in the sand dunes and shit like that.
A cross
Not
between
the
a golf
sand
buggy
wagon,
and a
they're
quad
little
car.
production buggies. Who's going to get one of them and register it as a disabled vehicle?
Must be a way.
Oh, I mean, what was his name? Colin Furze. He built one, didn't he, with a 650 bike engine in it?
You see the mad guy that builds tunnels?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, I come across him occasionally.
He's. I'll tell you what. He's made an absolute mint since he started messing around in his shed on YouTube, mate.
Have you seen what he's doing at the minute with that garage?
Yeah,
Secret garage. That's awesome, isn't it?
I followed him all the way through, building all the tunnels down there, the workshop.
Yeah.
And he's got wilder and way out there since he started making more and more money. I mean, he's got corporate sponsorship. He's got all sorts now. But, and he still won't wear fucking safety goggles. He's using machines and drills with a bloody tie on. Well, that's a no-no anyway. Villiers, Jesus, that takes me back some, Simon. 250 Villiers. Jesus.
A bit large for a mobility vehicle.
What, Villiers?
No, 250.
Not the Villiers. You'd be lucky if it would pull it.
Yeah, but there's some restrictions on CC. It's like mopeds and things.
Yeah, it's 14 miles an hour top speed.
No, I thought it was engine size as well.
No, you're not supposed to have a petrol engine on the mobility.
Not supposed to have a petrol engine.
Yes, Chris did. The one he did was a pulse jet, if I remember rightly. And yeah, he did the SETI. He was the one that blew up the van with all the fireworks.
That one where he did the parkour arm was good as well.
Yeah. He's a very clever lad, you know. Yeah. And I like the way most of his engineering is rudimentary.
Yeah.
You know, if you got the basic knowledge of how to use tools, and like when he built the go-kart with no welding, just literally drilling and bolting together. You know, it's even though he's making lots of money, most of his smaller projects are still buildable in your back shed, you know, garden shed. And that's the sort of things I used to do out there. I mean, some of the bloody things I used to build, why I used to the ideas were bad enough, but actually putting them together. You know, I mean, how can you improve a party popper? Well, you take the charge out of about 8 or 9 of them. You also chuck in the powder out of a load of the old toy gun caps. And you pull the string and watch the thing go bang and dig a foot hole in the ground. You know, yeah, hell of an improvement on a party popper.
As a youth, I used to go fly fishing. You know, I had a local reservoir, and it were only £12.50 for a permit. And tackle weren't as expensive because, like, you didn't have to carry like bloody great boxes and crap like that. And one year they actually did maintenance work on the reservoir, and they drained it really, really, really low. And there was bloke there with his young lad, and they were fishing away, like, you know, and his little lad came over and said, Dad, I found a bomb. Yes, he said, yeah, just put it down. He came back, he said, Dad, I found another bomb. And he turned around eventually, and there was some bloody artillery shells there, some mortar rounds and stuff.
Oh, if you watch it, some of the magnet fishing, some of them are pulling up grenades and all sorts of ordnance.
They had to get the bomb disposal squad out, and they came out and started twatting them on embankments on stones, just banging them. I thought, are they bloody mental or what? No, they're all dead. They're all dud.
I mean, where we used to ride the mountain bikes up the road here towards Tamworth, in the woods up there, it backs on to Whittington Barracks. You know, we used to go in through the back. It's a load of dirt hills and shit, and it's the overshoot for the range there. So they put big gates up because we used to go in there. You can't get in there when the range is live now. But it backs off. The way we went in, you used to have to cross a canal on an old stone bridge. I mean, the stone bridge has been there for 100 years or so. Now, my mate he's got a magnet. And I've said, well, look, if you go along there, because that was the way they used to sneak out the barracks and that to go to the pub. Mm-hmm. And I can guarantee you that after the wars, there was a shitload of stuff thrown in that canal. So you go right on that bridge. It's about a mile out of the village. And I'll tell you what, you'd be surprised what you'd find. And he's going to give it a go one day. He said he'll film it. So, Christ's got a hot water bottle. I've got a header.
There was an artillery. There was a camp there during the Second World War before they embarked on D-Day. Apparently, there were a lot of Yanks up there, and they used to do practice with, like, you know, dummies. But they were like, you know, they'd launch him, and some of them would land in the lake. And it weren't until, like, I don't know, 40, 50 years later, they actually started finding them, turning them up.
I'll tell you what, Simon, hang on, let me find a picture. Right, get that one up. Oh, that's a poxy little picture. How the fuck's that going to share?
We'll make it bigger. Scroll, zoom in.
Well, it's on 100%.
We'll make it 200%.
Can you do that? Oh, yeah, you can look. Yeah, but then it all distorts.
We'll make it big enough to see.
Let's see what happens. Right, hang on. Bear with me, peeps. You know what I'm like with this techie shit. That ain't going to come out very well at all.
Make it as big.
Make it stop.
Roger, the large.
There you go. That was my old 650 Speed Twin, Simon. That was, and if you look closely,
You have to look pretty closely, to be fair, Rog.
yeah. Hang on, I have
It's
got
a
a
picture of the
better
tiny.
one of the same bike, but after I painted it.
You could see that it had wheels. That was about it.
No,
Yeah,
there
I'd
is.
like
Of course.
see
That's
that
why it's got to
one
zoom
the
in to 200%.
Make it bigger.
Yeah, but then the picture breaks up because it's a bad
Only
picture.
to you.
Right. Okay. Let's try that. I love playing with tech. But this is a better picture of it after I painted it. It was actually the 1955. And if you notice closely looking at it, it's got a nickel-plated frame. It's got nickel-plated oil tank. The side panel, the other side was nickel-plated. And that, believe it or not, was all standard. Apparently, it was the Coronation Edition.
Hey, Roger, for people like me who don't know what you're talking about, what's the advantage of having it nickel plated?
It's just for show, mate. It's like chrome.
Looks pretty.
Looks pretty. It does protect.
Thanks,
the
Mrs.
metal
W.
to a certain extent.
It's chrome with the poisoning. With extra
Oh,
poison.
right.
And that was not a very good one, but that one, I'm only showing these for Simon there.
More fireworks.
More fireworks. Right, that one there is a Tribza. It was the BSA frame with the Triumph engine in it, with a lightweight sidecar put on it. That's my sister sat on the bike, and my ex-girlfriend, or one of them, sat in the chair.
Hey, Roger, I hope you won't take me wrong about this, but it looks like an outtake photograph from the Carry On films.
Or
No,
on the buses.
what it is, mate, they're very,
On the
very
buses.
old photographs. They're very old photographs from my collection, and it's really hard to get them on the computer. They're scratched. They're old.
They're not very big.
Not very big. Yeah.
Or small, as we call them.
Oh yeah, there's a picture of my favourite lady biker. Well, I say lady biker, actress who owns quite a few motorcycles.
Was it Emma Watson?
No.
I know, just kidding.
Oh no.
And Margaret.
Yes.
Dear, oh dear.
And she owns Harleys. She's got chops. That's the one that was with Elvis Presley. And she's the only one that has never, ever spoke about their personal life together. She said
That
she never would,
photograph,
and
yeah.
she never did, not even after he died.
That photograph very pneumatic, and the tyres look good as well. I'm still on my first pint. If you want the milk, you're gonna have to wait.
I haven't really got any other interesting ones up there. Oh, there's one there of me when I had a bit of weight on me. How's that one going to look?
Bloody hell, we're scraping the barrel here, aren't we? Here's Roger.
This wasn't when I was at my biggest, but you can actually see that I used to carry a lot more weight than I do now.
Can you zoom it up a bit, dude?
I can try on that one.
Oh, that can't be you in the right, is it? It is.
Depends me in the loud shirt.
Nah.
Not the hairy bugger.
Yeah, fuck it. That's
That
unbelievable.
one there, that's me.
That's unbelievable, Roger.
I was bigger at one point. Quite a bit bigger. Yeah, I had a few, Simon, back in the day. I was, I suppose, one of the weirdest ones I had, and I never really did enjoy. It's a bit more modern, to be honest. I just fancied having a trike one day, and it's only a bike trike. It was literally buy the motorbike and you buy all the rest of the bits and just bolt them on. But it's not one that I got involved in too much. I think I only had it for about 3 months after I put the back end on it. It just didn't feel right.
It looked like it's made backwards, like the front of it should have been the back.
Yeah. Well, they do nowadays. There are ones now that are designed that way. Yeah, unfortunately, crafts. I mean, most people have seen the pictures of my cars. I lost about half a dozen albums, and I mean big, thick ones, of a lot of me drag racing. I've still got a few of me oval track racing up there in a couple of small albums. But over the years, a lot of them got lost. A lot were left in my mum's loft. And unfortunately, due to the conditions of the will, I was not allowed anything out of the house, and I wasn't even allowed in the house after she died. So I didn't get to retrieve them. The family wouldn't tell me what they done with them. So
That's a
But,
proper
yeah.
kicker there, Rog.
yeah, I mean, there wasn't that many there, but there was a lot more from my childhood. Obviously, they were literally all up in the loft because they were never put up in the house.
Yeah. Irreplaceable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's, you know, that was between me and the family, and I don't speak to them anymore. So, but yeah, I did lose a lot. You know, albums were lent out. Somebody wanted to show somebody something. They went out. They didn't come back. And I'd moved around a lot as well. So most of them were probably down to myself leaving them somewhere, or just
Yeah.
losing the boxes they were in. Which is a shame, because there was some real good ones in there. Especially the drag racing in the American cars. I've only got the pictures of one of the American cars now, and I only got a couple a day. I think there is another two up there. Oh, there might have been one of me Granada, but most of them are banger racing. That's the ones I got left, and that's simply because they were smaller albums and they used to just get tucked in here, there, and everywhere, so they never got lost. But such is life.
Yep.
You know, and this is one of the reasons now with a lot of, as you know, with literally all videos that I do, anything I put together on here, all goes on to, I've got two external hard drives.
Back everything up.
Yeah, everything's
You
on there.
you digitalize something and it crashes, you lose it forever.
Yeah, and this is what I do every week. Once I've done my videos and everything like that, they all get copied across. So there's a copy of them on the hard drive. And the other thing is, you know, if I get any issues with the computer and I need another computer, I've got all that I can put back on it, copy back across if I need it.
Do you know what, Loafer? To be extra safe, what I do, if for every single file I ever save, I go proper into the detail, and I get every 0 and 1, and I get a notepad and I write the zeros and the ones. Every single one of them.
That verges on autism, mate.
You mean
There's
you write
nothing
in
wrong with that.
binary?
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
he'll be
kidding.
laughing on when the zombie apocalypse comes, and I'll be there with my hordes and hordes of notepads with zeros and ones there. Who'll be laughing then, Loafer? Who then?
Plenty of that. No, it's to me, it's like a video diary. You know, I've talked in videos on their personal ones about my past life. I don't put all of it on here. Most of you know that I'm quite open and I do talk about my past over certain things. But there are things that are personal, and I like to keep them that way. But they're on there. So at some point in the future, when I'm long gone, someone might come across it and say, God, mate, did that dickhead ever go on? You know?
There's the proof.
Yeah. And likewise, I've put clips of different types of motor racing on one of them, you know, show that this is the type of racing that I used to do and stuff like that. It's just memoir.
Have you ever thought of making some sort of collage where you get your video editing stuff together, and whatever stuff you can salvage from your old video and photographic memories, make it's not a collage, but something like that.
I did
montage.
one.
Steve, you're talking to a guy that says, "Right, I'm going now," and then 20 minutes later, he's like, "Where the fuck's it gone?"
I did
taken.
one, the short one on mountain biking. I think I put a few clips there, and most of it were crashes and funnies, to be honest. And that's why I did it. But I've got two laptops upstairs. They're both Windows 7, so they're obviously unsupported. And there is literally hundreds of mountain biking videos on there. Now, there is a lot of things in them that are funny, like crashes and episodes where we've just been sat around chatting and, you know, having the crack. But unfortunately, this was back in the day where I didn't bother putting titles or descriptions on any video.
He was
So-
warned.
Yeah, I was warned. So it's going to literally take me a lifetime to go through all them videos, because most of them are over an hour, to just try and find maybe one funny clip or one funny
It's
crash.
actually gone really quiet all of a sudden.
Hey, what was that, Mikey?
Everything's gone really quiet all of a sudden.
Really
No.
quiet.
It's just mine.
I don't think so. You, to be honest, Beard, Mikey, you seem to be cutting out a bit. Like you've got a voice activated mic or something.
Might be because my
'Cause,
phone's getting hot.
Could be. It was like we were hearing you cut out like that old
I'll
comic
have to
Stan
go down and
Boardman or
see chat,
something. What you
Roger.
said.
Oh, there's another one.
Or just hang about. Your
You'll
visuals
like
there.
You'll like
You're
this
lovely
one
to look
if
at.
you like. If you like the first one of Anne Margaret,
Like,
just to prove that I wasn't giving it the big un, that she had her own Harley chop. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
wow.
She's leaving nothing to the imagination there, is she?
Not really. That's what you call in the wind, baby. That is actually a
Careful.
triumph.
Careful. There's got to be some
Don't
excellent
know,
jokes about that. Whistling down the wind.
If she closes her up with her legs at a certain angle, she plays Mozart's magic flute.
But yeah,
Okay.
I just saw that one there. It just came up.
It was in
Mikey
his
has disappeared.
memory.
Mikey has rage
Probably
quit in protest.
It's probably rebooting or something.
No,
I
she
think
did
he's just
have,
got.
what was
He's the only one here with some decency.
I watched a documentary that was on her and Elvis. That's how I found out that said she'd never. Rebel Fox. She's got her own, or did have her own collection of everything from like step through Honda Cubs right through to Harleys, and she had about 50, 55, I think it was, she said, in her collection. But you know, you look in America, some of the women that ride bikes over there, I mean, yeah, you get the old bittered ones and what have you, but there's a lot of new ones now. You look at the videos from Sturgis and Daytona, and it's more of a status symbol over there now. You know, they're riding these bloody great Harleys, and they've got
They get them trucked in the backs of trucks.
yeah,
They'll
they
fly
trailer
it
them there and then ride them in.
and then just like outside the gates of they'll get them out and then ride them in.
Yeah,
and then they'll get back into their air-conditioned vehicles and their air-conditioned planes and fly home. They're called weekend bikers. They're not proper bikers.
Yeah, I mean, when we used to do the shows with the bikes and the cars, that there was specific categories for those that rode their bikes or drove their cars to the show, and those that trailered. And you could see the difference, you know. The ones that rode and drove there, they'd be out in the car parks the day before, all polishing and cleaning. The others used to bring them straight out the trailers and put them on stands. Sent you. Where did you send them to, Simon? So nothing in private chat. I've had no alerts from anywhere. Via email. Okay, mate. Yeah, I haven't got any emails open at the moment. So thank you. I'll have a look at them. I'll be interested in them. I mean, I do add a few more. I mean, I had an aerial at one point. I had won an XWD Tiger 80 350 single triumph. I mean, that used to be hilarious. It used to get used for grass track, hill climb, road racing. All he did was change the handlebars and the tyres. But I couldn't get on with roundy racing with bikes for some reason, not unless it was on the dirt. I did try it at one point, but I didn't enjoy it. Army Land Rover off-road. Yeah, well, that would go for any Land Rover back then, Crafts. The proper Land Rover is designed for off-road. It's totally unsuitable for the roads. Yeah, I had the Challenger, Simon. The 250 Challenger. I was told it was an ex. What was his name? Vic Eastwood's. Somebody said it was his old bike, but the numbers that they were tracked back, and they couldn't find anything relevant to it. So I believe it was just a selling point. I bought it second hand. You know, they were old hat when I bought that one. And the other one, what was the other Grieve? The Griffin, I think it was. But you got to remember, you know, we were riding motocross bikes when they were converted road bikes, and even the works motocross riders, or scramblers as it was called back then, they were riding 500cc Triumphs and big cast iron engines. And there was none of these lightweight Japanese shit.
Aluminium.
Greaves, the 6-day. Yeah. Yep. The trials version, not the motocross version. Yeah. Sorry, guys, for boring you there with motorbikes. You know, the viewings are dropping anyway.
Fascinating, Rod. Fascinating.
No, I've ridden a lot of bikes and I've driven a lot of cars. You know, and it's nice to come across someone who knows what I'm talking about. You know, I do apologise to everybody else in the chat for going off on one there.
Yeah. I find it interesting. I don't know anything about it, but it is bloody interesting when you think about it.
Yeah, motorcycling back then was a totally different affair to what it is now. You know, you still had your bad lads like what you see the Americans doing that, well, and over here, these Sunday ride outs where they're just tear-assing on the streets on illegal bikes and that. There wasn't a lot of that went on back then. You were more likely to get caught riding around a farmer's field or in a private quarry or something, you know. But there's something you don't see nowadays so much of, is some of us went out and got permissions from some of these quarries and some of the farmers on disused land where we had permission to ride or build a little track or something. You know, and quite often the police would turn up. Oh, somebody says you're riding motorbikes in here. Well, obviously, yeah, I'm fucking sat on one, you dick. What of it? Well, you're not supposed to be in here. It's private. No, we got permission to be in it. You know what I mean? We're trying to stay out of trouble and stay off the roads and not cause people grief, and we still get grief. You know?
Yeah.
It's the old saying: when a biker does good, nobody hears. When a biker does bad, everybody does.
Mm.
And that has always stood right down through the years. You know, just restore the Willys Jeep.
People
I hope
like
that does mean the
vampires,
Jeep,
aren't
Jay.
Some people are like vampires. They're like parasites. They like to feed on bad news. It destroys it at the end of the day. If you're obsessed with bad things and bad news, it can really take a toll on you mentally.
It's funny how that works, isn't it, Lothar? It's like what is it that you've got to ask yourself? What is it that draws people towards the drama side of things? Another funny feeling that what it is that you get to engage with the drama which is what you don't want.
But you're a
Because to be-
spectator. You're a spectator. That's it. You don't get involved.
Well, not even that.
Yeah.
It's that if you're in there, but you feel like you're actually defending your inner world, so to speak, you're not letting things get to you, because the currency there is just more drama back. It's like, yeah, you're an XYZ. You're an XYZ. Well, you can't say that because of this. And well, yeah, raised voices, and it
Right,
feels
crap.
like
Take
to
care.
them. I imagine the lure of it is that you seem to go into the lion's den and have your shout and come away unscathed, feeling a bit like you can handle yourself in those situations a bit more. It's like
Yeah,
a training ground for
The trouble
bollock
is
talk.
with them sort of channels is you don't even need to be in there. All it takes is someone to say, like tonight, we talked briefly about Crinkle. Someone will go straight on there. There'll be someone in the background in here that have gone somewhere or will go oh, they said this about you the other night.
Yeah, but are they telling the truth, or they'll be basically just
Well, exactly.
embellishing and exaggerating and negative things, you might say? But if you've got something complimentary to say about something, that information won't be passed on. It's all the toxic information.
Yeah.
I've seen this in my personal life with tittle tattles and telltales. It's like Chinese whispers syndrome,
Yeah.
only it's intentionally done. If
Yeah.
you've got a criticism of somebody, but then again, but on the other hand, they did say this, and I stick with them and agree with them on this. In principle, but then again, what they said about this, I've got a problem with that. And if you explain yourself rationally, that person will clip exactly what you said, and it'll only be the negative things that are passed on. And all it does, it fosters hostility and resentment, and it gets people fucking tearing each other's throats out. And I tell you, it's toxic. It's absolutely toxic. I hate it.
The thing is not to react to it. I think, Lofa, obscene as it is, what they want is a rise out of you.
Yeah, I did that intentionally. First time I dropped on one stream and went on the panel, I started getting screamed at. So I just dropped out. I just didn't say, right, I've had enough, I'm going. I just plugged my mic, turned my PC off and went to bed. The next morning I thought about it when I was sober, and I just put a comment in the chat. I said, this is absolutely toxic. I can't remember who invited me in here, which is a lie because I didn't want to get them involved. I said, it's absolutely toxic. First time I've been up on panel, I've been engaging in the chat. First time I'm on panel, I said, it's absolutely disgraceful. And then I went up to work and came back, turned my computer on, notifications. Ha, 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 pussy. We made your own, blah, 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 blah. So the next night, I went up on the fucking panel again and said, you know, Jamie, well, I've just said who his channel was. I said, I put that comment in, and I was feeding the trolls because I wanted them to attack me. I can play your game better than you can. At the end of the day, I've got a conscience, because basically if I do something wrong, I'll hold my hand up to it. If I act irresponsibly or change my mind on any subject, I will say I was wrong. I'll admit I was wrong. But some people will never do that, and I've not got any time for those people at all, whatsoever. I hate it.
You maintain the higher ground.
Yeah, the moral high ground. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I just don't bother with them. I don't go anywhere where they go. I might mention them like we have tonight. I haven't slagged anybody off really. And, that's where I leave it. I won't tolerate them in here. And so, in fairness, I don't go there. And I've got no reason to go to them channels that they go on. It's no reason whatsoever. People say, oh, yeah, but they get monetized. They get big money. I said, yeah, but look at the shit that gets attracted to them to make that money. Of course they're going to enjoy it and let people do it.
It's like a freak show.
Carmen, good evening. Yeah, I mean, I've been open right from the beginning. I'll never monetize my channel, even if I manage to get to a level where it could be. I'd never do it. That's not why I'm here. I'm not on here to make money. I can only,
to be honest, Roger, if you did monetize,
I've made a lot of them.
If you did monetize, I'd be out like a shot.
Yeah.
Roger, I'm not paying for this kind of thing.
No.
Just kidding.
Neither would I, mate. Yeah, well, mind you,
You're paying to come here and be abused.
I'm likely to get porn channels and that advertising on here, aren't I?
Come here to be abused. I didn't pay to come here to be abused.
Yeah.
I've got a
I
wife.
can go anywhere.
All I have to do is go in the house and I get nagged to death. I get that for now.
You got it on tap.
Yeah,
What? Oh, lucky you, loafer.
I deserve it most of the time.
Call it the
Okay.
domination channel.
Mm.
But no, you've known me for a while now. Most people in here, there's no wet bells and whistles with me. What you see is what you get. I don't put anything false in the background. She's absolutely genuine, that one, and so's the four-legged one. No matter where that's gone,
She got to bed.
took herself off the bed because I wouldn't go up.
All your bells and whistles are broken.
Yeah.
Oh, they get up and go has got up and went.
Is the bloody computer, and I have my doubts about that sometimes. It did it again the other day. I don't know what went wrong. I was moving some videos about and transferring them and copying them, and the bloody thing just had head fit and wouldn't fucking do anything. So there you go, darling. It's all yours. Call me when it's done. You off, Chris? All right, mate. Cheers for dropping in, buddy. Don't forget, it's be down as usual next week. So it'll
There,
be
Chris.
all over on his channel. And it will be a busy night because obviously everybody's missed him. And a lot of people that do get in there on a Sunday haven't come here for whatever reasons. Absolutely fine, not a problem. Those of you that have bothered to come over that don't normally come onto my lives, welcome. It's nice to see you in here as well as over there. But what was that? Something binged and bonged then. What's flashing? That thing. Okay.
You haven't got a phantom flasher, have you?
Thank you, JD. No, for some reason, these alerts are something I do get regular. It comes up with weather and news feed. And that's only because I haven't figured out how to turn the app off yet. I've only had it 2.5 years. But sometimes it is handy. But you'll click on the alert. It'll what was it the other day? Driving rules had changed or something, wasn't it? GB News, for some reason, came up as boom.
On a notification.
Clicked on it, and there was nothing there, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, JD, take care, buddy.
They are funny buggers down at GB
Well, you
News all the
say
time.
good night to Chris.
GB News, the only thing I watch on GB News is occasionally Free Speech Nation, but it's on a Sunday, so I have to catch up with it. Because I think I like Andrew Doyle. I think he's all right.
Andrew Doyle's bang on.
Yeah.
He's big friends with Douglas Murray, mind, but if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, right. In that way, is that the rumor going round? Is
No,
it?
no, it's not. It's not at all. I was just saying that they are part of a clique. Douglas Murray, Andrew Doyle, Peterson, Trigonometry.
Yeah.
You know, Lotus Eaters podcast.
I mean, I dip into them all, but I like his Free Speech Nation. I like John Cleese's new program. I play catch up on that. I think that was great. I think he started not last week, because last week it was Stephen Fry talking about himself, so I didn't bother with that. He does like to talk about himself and name drop, doesn't he?
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, he's all right. I used to like that quiz program he used to do, but the week before, he had somebody on. We were talking about press confidence in the press, and apparently the United Kingdom, out of all the European nations, has been consistently ranked the lowest for trust in the mainstream media. And he did it in a funny way, you know, that sort of like, oh, don't believe it. Oh, we've gone up one. Oh, we're back down one place.
Well, what about old Vorderman then dumping the BBC after they said, "Joe, you got to play by the rules"?
Yeah, they said that to Gary Lineker, though, did they?
No.
Has he taken in that refugee yet?
I have no idea.
I haven't heard anything
3 years
from
ago, he
it
was about to
since
take
he
a
said that he
refugee.
was going to take one in.
Oh, really?
I haven't
Oh,
heard a thing
yeah,
about it.
he took one in, but he was very
Did he?
selective about it. He might have been a legitimate refugee, could speak English and knew how to use the toilet.
Didn't build fires in the middle of the living room to cook. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a story now. This was.
Did you point that thing at me?
It was no. This was my sister. Back in her early army career, when she was a postie, she used to go a lot on these. What are they called? The Prince of Wales things or Prince of Edward? What was his
It's the
name?
Wales
The old
Trust.
fella. No.
Philip,
Prince Philip. They used to run a lot of courses on them. And, you know, they go all around the world on different projects. And was it Operation Rally or something like that? Well, she ended up Duke of Edinburgh Awards. That's it, Beardy. Thank you. Yeah, she ended up out somewhere in Africa. Now, she befriended the local bank manager out there. Not in that way, that they were just friends. No, nothing like that. And about a year later, they kept in touch, you know, as pen pals and things like that.
And PayPal. You know what I'm saying?
He decided he was going to quit his job and tour the world. And our sister had always told him that, you know, if you want to come over here, look us up. And I was living at home at the time. She was obviously in the army, so she was only home when she was on leave. And she announced that this guy, Gupta was his name, was coming over and he was going to do a tour of England and he was going to come and stop with us for a couple of days if that was all right with the family. I was, well, yeah, I ain't got a problem, like, you know. So the first thing he turned up, he had like sandals on. And I questioned that. And she said, he's never worn a pair of shoes, even when he was a bank manager. Fair enough. And he seemed like a nice chap. And it got round to talking about what we were going to have for tea. Now, in the corner, our sister had brought back from one of her adventures, like some of these touristy things like spears and shit like that. So when me old man asked what we were having for tea, I said, well, give him that lot there, send him out and see what he fucking brings back, which at the time was quite a funny joke. Today, it would probably be classed as totally racist, but it wasn't, and it wasn't meant that way. But anyway, they saw the funny side of it. Even he did, after we explained the joke to him. But then that evening, we sat there, we've got the fire going, we got the telly on. And he was quite amazed that we actually had 3 channels at the time. I think it was. Or 4 it might have been then. Because we never could get Channel 5. And all of a sudden, we heard this sort of screaming and yelling. Now, he'd never seen coal before. So what had he done? He'd picked up a hot fucking coal out of the fire to see what it was. And he's there juggling with his fucking coal. I mean, oh.
Roger, that's not a cultural difference. The guy's an idiot.
I mean, like, you know, and I was seriously doubting the fact that she said he was a bank manager out there somewhere.
Stuck his hand into the fire and tried to pull out the coal. Where we come from, we do not have fire.
But the one with the spears and that, I mean, that was a family joke for years, and it went round the extended family, the outer family as well. Fucking yeah, send him out with them, see what he brings back.
One hand Gupta and say nothing from the none.
Yeah, fucking hell, I was worried for the local wildlife and the farm stock, to be honest, if he had picked them up. But
yeah, Jesus, you might have done a lot of favours there.
We've got an happy church down our road. You know what I mean?
Kept him out of action for a while.
No, I'll be totally honest. At the end of the day, I had some real good conversations with him about, you know, what he come from and what he done, and You know, and he was a nice chap. He was a nice chap. I won't say anything else. You know,
Did you have any conversations about thermodynamics?
Now, the funny thing was, I did explain to him, now, if you picked up a bit of charred wood like that, you probably wouldn't have got burnt because the ash insulates you from it. But
That sounds like another one of those jokes that makes you go up and try it.
no, it's absolutely true. It's absolutely
walk
true.
on the
The
fire.
ash will protect you to a certain extent from being burnt.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Yeah, seriously.
It's how they walk on the fire.
How do you think they walk on hot coals? It's because the ash protects them from it.
No, it's
They're
Buddha
only on there
saves them.
briefly in one
Buddha, the god
area.
of the soles of people's feet, saves them.
But you watch what happens if somebody stops or walks slowly across them and keep total contact. They're the ones that start hopping around and looking for the wet grass.
They get their timing wrong. They'd all start off thinking, you've got to look all sort of like serene and zen, haven't you? Oh, Jesus! Ah! What the fuck?
Well, if you're talking about
Please,
him or-
brother.
what about those Vietnam War, about them Buddhist monks that set themselves on fire and they just sit there perfectly still?
Yeah,
Self-immolation.
there's only been two that have
Yeah.
done that. One famous one, which the one was that was filmed. There was another one. The rest of them have usually ended up running around screaming.
Beating them, right, screaming, yeah.
Yeah. If you look up, there used to be a load of them on YouTube, actually. Google self-immolation. I don't know whether they still show that stuff, but there was a load of them on there at one point. Yeah, if the ash is glowing, that's a different matter, Jay.
I am blessed in the eight noble truths. Buddha will save me. Ah, fucking hot.
Yeah, that one, the famous one was the one he sat in the market square. He didn't actually set himself alight. If you look at the video, he was actually set alight by one of his monks from behind. But the police stood
Can't
by,
trust no one.
didn't do anything, and he just sat there motionless until he keeled over. But they do say when the burns get that bad, which they would in that case instantly, you don't feel a lot of pain anyway, because the first thing it does is burn all the nerves, burns the nerve endings off. So there's no real register of pain.
You wouldn't be so happy as to say be able to do a crossword at the same time.
6 down.
As long as it's not 3-word meaning, 3-letter word meaning, beginning with H and ending
Daddy's
in
going
T.
out now. Quick,
Hot.
put some more petrol on him. But yeah, there was the whole video of that right from the lead up where he tipped it all over himself, right until he killed over in the flames. Whether it's still there, I haven't looked, but yeah, they. And this is the thing with these people from the Middle East, they're willing to die for their belief and cause. Most people aren't like that. Any armed forces, they don't want to die, but these people will quite happily do it.
The price of life is cheap around there. They don't view human life, as anything more than cattle.
It's cheap. It's cheap to them. Life is cheap to them.
Beardy's on his phone, so it may have gone.
I didn't see him go, to be honest. I was actually looking at the chat.
Yeah.
That was a good 3/4 of an hour ago, I think, Beardy left.
Yeah, that's same with me, Jay. In the car fire, I burnt my shins to just up past the knee. It wasn't a direct burn from the flames. What it was the heat that did most of the damage. The only flame burn I got was the back of my hand when I took my glove off because I got stuck to the buckle on the harness. But most of it, my shins, the hairs don't grow on them. I can't wear shorts on hot sunny days.
Thank fuck for that.
Yeah, they blister. There's nothing
I'll
there.
see you in a
mate.
second. I'll see you in a
Raiders.
second, Roger. Just going to go and move. I'll see you in a second.
Yeah, all right, mate. No worries.
Tia Mayano.
Yeah, they do give me a bit of jip, and plus with the adage thing, they've never really bothered me. I just don't like the look of them. But now with the polycythemia, me legs and me muscles in my legs in particular have been really playing up over. Oh, excuse me. Over the last year, and it's them muscle aches and tremors and cramps that I actually use the devil's lettuce for. It's the only thing I've found that calms them down.
So I can get some fucking sleep.
So you can get some sleep. Yeah. I mean, both me consultants and me GP know I use it for that purpose. Obviously, they can't say, yeah, you're fine with it, but they've said, no, absolutely fine. You know, we know we're not overly worried about it. So, right, that's 10 to 11, guys. I normally do a 3-hour stream, so I'm going to try and keep to that for tonight. I am feeling quite tired, as you can see. My eyes are fucking playing up again. So it's when they start going in and out of focus. I've been not pushing my limits, but I've been doing more over the last few days than I usually do, and it is telling on me. And I've got treatment this week as well, Thursday. So I'll probably be a bit out of sorts on Friday, but I will be doing the normal Friday live. Dan's back, as I say, next week, so I'll be back to doing my normal Friday one. Oh, what's going on? Take care, Simon. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. And I will have a look at them pictures. I'm always interested in the old bikes. Mate of mine had a couple of nice Nortons as well. Although I was never a Norton man. I was more a Triumph man. I didn't even particularly like BSAs, to be honest. But I did own a couple.
Roger, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, you're very quiet, Loafer. I'm 62, mate. Coming up 63.
I'll pop out and come back in again then. It's my settings.
All right, buddy. Oh, you got a bit louder then, but
Yeah, you're fine as you are, Loafer, really.
You sure?
yeah.
In fact, you're
always
mint
pretty
now.
quiet anyway, ain't you?
Like,
So-
probably the mic. I moved it out of my way to smoke a
Oh,
No,
cigarette.
you're too loud. Too loud. Too loud. Just kidding.
All right.
Yeah,
there
you're
we go.
fine, love. It's just a distance from Mike.
My brother's 10 years older than me, so he's 66. And he was always into his bikes. But he was never
Yeah, I
into his
had
classic
me-
British bikes. He went up to, I think he had a Quack 1000cc sport bike, the last one he had. He's always had bikes all his life. He just got to that age where he thought, I'm getting too old now, when he were about 60.
Well, my first bike, my dad bought it for me. He paid 15 quid for it when I was 12 years old. And it was an old BSA Bantam Bushman with the Bantam Major engine in it, which was a very unusual engine because most Bantams came in the 125 or the 175cc. Well, the Bantam Major was actually 150cc. Unless you had the Super, and of course that had 4-speed rather than 3. But this was built as like a trial bike. It was a Bantam trials bike, and that was my first ever one at 12 years old. At 15, you remember that picture I put up earlier on of the sidecar and the Triumph?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I actually rode that to school. But the biggest mistake I made was parking it in the headmaster's parking space.
You cheeky bugger.
Yeah, I actually rode that fucker to school one day. They weren't best happy, nor were the police when they were told about it.
Do you know what I'm thinking of, Rog? I'm having a deep thought. You were saying that you want to get the 3 hours of the stream as you promised, but it's you. A number of the stories you're saying sound like you're rebellious, and
I
I'm
was
putting that
very rebellious, mate.
putting that together in my mind with the idea that it's not like you're a bad egg either, but also with the modern times, as in the last 3 or
Yeah.
4 years, it seems to be right. People are sort of like it. The people who just don't accept what they're being spoon-fed. It's only the rebellious people who are able to, by the virtue of how they think, see through things. And I was thinking, if it's going to be late in the stream, maybe with your experience, what are the virtues of being rebellious without being a cock? Not suggesting that you would be, but I mean, it's easy just to be rebellious and be a cock about
Some
it.
people would have definitely classed me as a right dick back then. Believe me. I'm getting alerts again from BitChute. Why?
I don't suppose you can really sort of put yourself out there without risking being a bit of a cock, sort of thing.
I was one of these, mate. If I was told I shouldn't do something or I wasn't allowed to do it, then I'd go out and do it and try. But yeah. Right, guys, I'm going to call that it because I am getting quite tired here, to be honest.
Do you know something? I've only just poured my second pint and it's going to be my last one. I'm going to have an early night.
Yeah, likewise, lover. Nice one, man. Good
Well,
talking to you again.
to be honest, normally in the week I'm in bed by at latest 9:30.
Which is why the cat went up at 10.
Yeah, that's why the cats went. She wanted to go to bed, and that's what she was creating Mary L for. She wanted me to go with her because that was my normal bedtime. I don't often sleep when I'm up there, maybe a couple of hours, but I'm relaxing or trying to. That's one of the main things. But I'm going to call that there for tonight. I'm not going to push myself. I've got quite a bit on this week, actually. So, but I will say before I go, thank you everybody in the chat that has supported me on the Sunday for the last few weeks. Audit in Chesterfield, good evening. I didn't have a toilet.
Yo, Chesterfield.
It's been absolutely brilliant. It's been very enjoyable standing in for Dan. As I say, it gave you guys somewhere to come and chat or just sit and listen to me, or you could have even muted me and just chatted amongst yourselves. You might well be doing that. I don't know. I can't tell. But no, I appreciate the fact that people have come over and showed their support. And the fact that everybody has been totally respectable over the last few weeks. And Dan has mentioned that to me as well about on his lives, how respectful it is now. So, guys, keep that up. It makes a refreshing change. It's not very often you come across streams like that now. What's that? My motto, you're here for a good time. Yeah,
not a long time.
Enjoy life to the max and experience life and lots of different things in and around it. And I will say, even the bad, I wouldn't change a thing, Simon. It's made me the person I am now. And I'll take the bad because the good outweighed it every time. But thank you, guys. Hope to see you all Friday afternoon, 4 o'clock till 7. I normally do the 3-hour stream there. If for any reason that changes, I'll let you know in a video in the week. But please come back next week. Support Dan on his return. Be nice to see everybody in there. And before I go, as always, stay safe, stay strong, and stay absolutely free, especially at the moment. Take care, guys. My respects to each and every one of you.
Nice one, everyone.
Night all.